Hey everybody, welcome to Big Dumb Monsters. I am Chris.
And I'm Nick.
And this week we are joined by very special guest, Thor Mault. He is here to talk Gamera, Guardians of the Universe from 1995 with us.
Yeah, fun movie.
Yeah, I was about to say this is our first non-Godzilla kaiju, but that's not true.
No, it's
because
not.
we did Howl from Beyond the Fog way back in the beginning.
Yep, what was that, episode 5?
I think so. It might have even been... Yeah, it was 5, because
Yeah.
4 was Candyman, 3 was the Blob.
Yeah.
But yeah, we got a thumbs up from I believe all of us. It was a decent watch.
I think we all enjoyed it for what it is. It's
Yeah.
obviously not a masterpiece piece of cinema, but
Yeah, for sure.
Take what you can get when it comes to kaiju.
But still a fun episode to record. We had a great time talking with Thor.
Yeah, great guest.
Yeah, for sure. As always, we get way off track, but we got into good places when we got off track this week. We talked a little bit about gaming.
Yeah.
We talked about some movies and stuff, and
Yep.
we did good.
Yeah, good times.
Pat ourselves in the back. Applause all around.
Enjoy the show.
Enjoy.
So I just watched it about 2 hours ago. I was like really close. So
Yeah.
Cutting down to the wire.
Yeah, I watched it yesterday, and then I kind of breezed through it today. Just kind of a refresher, but I liked it more yesterday. The second viewing wasn't really doing anything for me.
I could see that. My usual movie time is about 10 a.m. on Saturdays for these movies.
Yeah.
And like I hit that spot perfectly. And that was like, this movie is like my perfect Saturday morning. I either want to watch awesome cartoons or like a Toho movie.
Yeah.
And like, bam, here we go. Like kaiju, like I'm all about it Saturday morning.
Yep.
yeah. Believe it or not, I never watched a Gamera movie. I love Godzilla, but I've never seen a Gamera movie before that.
Same here. This is my first Gamera movie. I've seen probably almost every Godzilla movie, like, some of them multiple times.
Yeah.
I've never seen a Gamera movie before this morning.
Is he in?
No.
He's in some of the old Godzilla movies, isn't he?
No, I don't believe
No,
so. Yeah.
No, he's not. He's not in it. But there's a lot of stock footage of like Baragon.
Yeah, there's
appearing?
like monster crossover, but I don't think they've ever been in a.
Oh, okay.
Is Gamera part of that shared universe they just announced this week? From they just announced like a shared universe with like Godzilla, Kamen Rider, like Ultraman, and maybe like Gundams or something like that, or Evangelion.
No, I was gonna say no way. Gundam.
Yeah, it was Evangelion. That's what it was.
I mean, I'd be all about Gundam. So Duo Max. So I got my Death Sight shirt on. So
Sorry, you're about to say.
No, well, whatever.
Yeah, no. So I've never seen like a Gamera movie. And how were you guys have probably gone over this before? But how did you guys get in a kaiju?
Oh, we've definitely talked about this before. For me, it was Saturday afternoons. There was a monster movie host called Morgus the Magnificent. He used to be on Channel 11 out of New York City, and he would show like monster movies every Saturday afternoon. And more often than not, it was Godzilla movies. So that's how it was like in the early like to mid 80s maybe. I want to say maybe like 85, 86. So I was like 6 or 7 years old.
Yeah.
So yeah, like again, Saturday afternoons are just made for kaiju.
Oh yeah, like my dad definitely got me into it, and I started with TNT's Monster Vision. They used to do the Godzilla marathons.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I also got in a lot of horror movies of Joe Bob Briggs.
Yep. Two things we mentioned quite a bit.
We
on
love
the
Joe Bob.
I'm a huge Joe Bob fan too. I have Shudder pretty much for his shows.
And I'm going to mention this every chance we get. We keep I want to stress that we want him to come to Saratoga Comic-Con. Like we've pitched the idea. Like we want to build support to get Joe Bob to come to this show.
Yep.
I want to go to his traveling show.
Yeah, where he goes to all the drive-in theaters and tries to raise money for them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd love to check that out.
Yeah.
He's been to the Mahoning Drive-In, which is like, I think 3 or maybe 5 hours from here at the most.
Yeah.
And like that one is like a really popular, like classic drive-in.
Yeah.
I think he's done a couple of shows from there. That one I would love to go to.
Yeah.
Because they're always doing
If he
like,
does-
theme nights and stuff.
If he does it again, we'll have to do Big Dumb Monsters Mobile.
Yeah.
I'd
That'd
be
be
down
sweet.
for that.
Get in the van.
Get in the van.
For me, I had like a passing fandom with kaiju movies. Like I would tend to watch them when they showed them on like Sci-Fi Channel. On the weekends in the 90s.
Yeah, like even as popular as they are, I mean, everybody knows them. Everybody has like, oh yeah, I've seen one. You know, they probably can't name the one that they've seen.
Yeah.
But it is surprisingly difficult to actually catch one on TV. At least it was for like
Oh yeah.
a long
Now it
time.
is, yeah.
And like I said, most of the ones I knew as a kid were the Showa era Godzilla ones because they didn't really show any of the Hensai or Heisei, however you say it, era, which is
or like the Millennium
they'd show-
era.
Yeah, they didn't really show any of those. Like, but those got kind of weird. Like, you have Godzilla: The Matrix Reloaded, and you know, a lot of movies like that.
It was probably
They're
easier to get
great.
the
I
rights
love
to
them.
those.
Yeah, I'm sure because they're older. It's usually a copyright thing.
Yeah.
But during this, I'll probably I wrote a bunch of notes. I'm probably going to reference Godzilla a lot.
No, go for it.
Yeah, fine.
I'll be right there with you.
Yeah, I'll be out there on the outskirts as a more of a fan adjacent. Like I like these movies. I just never super got into them. Like they're not.
I'm a huge slasher movie fan too. You know, I grew up on those things, and you know, if you have openings for any of those, I have a lot to say on those. But
yeah, those were my bread and butter for a long time.
They're terrible, but they're a lot of fun.
Oh yeah.
I like that we're like monster specific. We do try to avoid those movies, like the slashers, but we are still fans of those movies.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well,
yeah. Okay, that's fair.
That's the thing is I give all horror a chance.
I mean, yeah, exactly.
I'm actually a huge fan of my favorite like horror sci-fi movies. John Carpenter's The Thing. I told you I was a big John Carpenter fan, so like you know anything. I pretty much love like all like horror and like who doesn't love giant monsters beating each other up?
Yeah.
They're just fun to watch. Like this one, a little less so. I mean,
really, I enjoyed this one more than I thought I was going to.
I didn't hate it.
Yeah.
I liked it. It's probably one of the better, I think, kaiju like origin / like rewritings because like from what I understand, this is like a revitalization like trilogy. Like
I think it's a reboot.
Like,
yeah,
it's like a soft reboot. I kind of want to call it because they're like they kind of give a background, but they kind of just like go into like, hey, there's two monsters, and this is the first time we've seen them.
Yeah.
There's none of that history or anything. I always like for the Gamera movies, I always just had the impression that they were like B-rate Godzilla movies. Like, you know, they were just not like. I mean, Godzilla. Like, as much as I love Godzilla movies, I can admit that like some of them are not great movies. You know,
some.
Yeah,
come on.
Oh,
most of. And like, and like,
well, it just. Oh, I'm sorry. It's just like we're saying with like the slasher movies. A lot of them are terrible, but you like them.
You still enjoy them,
yeah.
And this, you know, I just felt like this was a knockoff of that, and like, I don't know, I would just if this is my only, you know, this is my only exposure to it. Like, I could see that it's its own thing. It does stand on its own. I can also see like some similarities, you know, like the whole radiation thing, and yeah.
But
at the same time, like, I feel like Godzilla kind of took some things like the creatures in this before we get too far into that. Like, I feel like the Muto from the new Godzilla movies look like it, and there's a few creatures that
they both have that like triangle head.
Yeah. Yep. This one it's a weird angle, like with the origin of Gamera that they're presenting, and he's like a man-made monster.
Yeah, he's like a construct of some sort.
Yeah, he's like a creation to fix their mistake.
Yeah.
I'm gonna butcher some of the names, but I think the other creatures were called Gaius. Gyaos.
Yeah. Gyaos.
Yeah, Gyaos.
Yeah,
something weird.
That sounds about right.
I know it kind of looks like chaos, so I wanted to go Gaius. I don't know.
Yeah. I had to catch myself on the on the subtitles every once in a while. I was like, who is Chaos that they're talking about? Oh wait, I can't read.
It's the bird thing, yeah.
Is there a dub of it, or is it only subtitled? Because I watched it subtitled.
I only found it subtitled on Prime.
Yeah, I looked for a dub for about 2 minutes, and then just decided subs are it. It's probably closer to what they intended.
Usually is, yeah.
I felt like, effects wise, it kind of started off strong. I liked the initial appearance of Gamera. I thought it looked like pretty good for the time. And then as the movie went on, there was some really wonky CGI as it went on.
Not only just that, I think Godzilla did this a little bit better, but like the composite effects are pretty awful.
Yeah.
Like when they had the two scenes on top of each other, like it was like they looked like they're like two completely different movies.
Yeah.
There was one actually I did think was like pretty good. It was one of the first ones they used. It's the first appearance of Gamera, and like there's a bunch of people running and like they're crossing a bridge, and then like in the city in the background you see like Gamera moving around. Like I thought that one looked kind of good, but you're right, there are a lot of them that are just so bad.
The suits were good for 95, but they definitely were a little goofy if you look at their faces.
Yeah. And compared to like some of the late 80s Godzilla movies that like probably had more money. So I think, some of them looked a little bit better. But like I said, I think the suits were really good. I think the models look fantastic, like the cities.
Yeah.
And they did a good job of like Gamera's not like as big as Godzilla, but they did a lot of the like you're looking up at him to like get an idea of the size.
Yeah, a lot of perspective shots.
Oh god, these swooping shots are so bad.
Yeah,
sorry, we have the movie playing on the tablet here whenever we do a show.
Oh great, yeah, the swooping's bad. I know we're jumping around a bit, but the worst part I think was like when the monster like flew to kill the people on the bridge, and they do the freeze frame, like they're still playing the audio.
Yes,
but they freeze framed it because they didn't want to show them like too close together because I don't think they could have pulled it off.
Yeah,
yeah.
So you kind of guess what happens, and then it flies away. I was like, it took me out for a second. I'm like, what?
Yeah, it's a little goofy. I do like that they didn't try to rely a lot on CGI. Like it was mostly practical.
Yeah, but
and they tried to do that, like use the CGI to enhance what we've already got going on, which is what I appreciate.
Yeah,
it's just for what is going on here, like 1995 technology with the budget they had, not great.
Yeah. We're kind of lucky because like they really just like beat that like early mid 90s, Jurassic Park, Terminator, things like really started relying on CGI.
Yeah.
And like a lot of Godzilla movies, like it made me think of Godzilla 2000 and how bad the CGI was in that movie.
Ooh, excuse me.
You could just like throw a dart and find what the worst thing about that movie was.
The shots that were the worst in this were when the army first like confronts Gamera, like they think Gamera's the enemy, so they're attacking him.
Yeah,
and they have him on his back, and they fire missiles at him.
Yeah,
and they show a shot of the missiles like coming straight on, and they're straight up animated.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. That was a bit much.
But that's the same reason why I love these. Like it makes you laugh, and it's just like that stuff is hard to make like look good. So some of it, like when they do it really good, it's super impressive.
Yeah, I mean, like I suppose your option there, like, because I was immediately I would think like in a Godzilla movie, you would just see like the tanks or something wherever those missiles are coming from, like firing like a puff of smoke and a flash.
Yeah,
and then it hitting the monster. You wouldn't see the missiles and like. Is that better?
They're trying.
Like, yeah.
I like that they're putting in some of the effort to show more.
Yeah.
They were just limited by budget and
you guys
technology.
Tried.
Yeah. You did an okay. I do like the fact that when you first start experiencing Gamera, he's basically trapped in this island thing.
Mm-hmm.
And they're finding artifacts, and it's giving you some of the history of what's going on.
Yeah,
that was pretty cool. My only thought, though, when they found out that the stone could communicate with Gamera, is that they need to find one for each kaiju and have Pokemon-like battles.
That could work.
So, like, where's that movie?
Yeah.
Like,
Get under control, get some gambling on this, like, make some money, sell some concessions.
Oh my God.
There could be a lot of money. You just put them on Monster Island or whatever. Toho crosses everything over, so why not?
Yeah.
It reminds me of an old Sega Genesis monster like tournament fighter game.
Yeah,
King of the Monsters.
No,
King of the Monsters.
No. There was another one. It was like there was monsters that you could choose, and then like eventually you could like combine them to fight. The game was terrible.
Really?
Yeah, the premise was great. The game was fucking god awful.
That doesn't ring a bell. Like, I definitely remember King of the Monsters.
The thing you're kind of talking about is kind of like Monster Rancher. That's a PlayStation game.
Oh no, you didn't have to put CDs in it.
Okay. They just re-released that, so.
King of the Monsters was more like Kaiju wrestling. But then for PS2, there was a game that came out called War of the Monsters, which was amazing. I actually just bought it recently, like on the PlayStation Store. Within the past like year or two, they released it again.
Oh, nice. I'm not familiar with that one, so I'll have to check it out.
Yeah, I don't think it was like a big game when it came out, but like I bought it immediately, and it's very like themed, like a B-50 sci-fi movie or 60 sci-fi movie. Like there's one of the boards is on like a giant like alien spaceship. There's like your Godzilla clone. There's like a King Kong clone. There's like a giant like robot mech. There's like all kinds of like these like giant like tiki monsters. There's like lava monsters. Really cool game. And like for a PS2, you have like a giant city where you're fighting and you're throwing monsters through buildings and like. Yeah. It was a really good game.
That sounds badass.
Yeah.
Don't mind me. You guys carry on. I'm going to find what the fuck this game is.
No, I know it is. And around that time, too, there was some good Godzilla. Like Godzilla Save the Earth, Destroy All Monsters, and those are pretty good. It's hard to find like a good giant robot monster game, but
they did like a small release of like a Pacific Rim one when that movie came out, and it got like really good reviews, and now it's like impossible to find anywhere. And there's a Godzilla one too. I think it was for also PS2 or maybe PS3. That like
I'm still waiting for the Pacific Rim Godzilla Gundam crossover.
Any day now. Come on, like they're crossing it over with everything else.
Just
do it. Yeah.
Well, Netflix is doing a Gundam movie, so anything's possible.
We do have the Godzilla TV show too from is it Apple or Amazon? I forget which one.
Godzilla. I think it's Apple.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah,
because Netflix did the animated.
Yeah, because those were.
I couldn't get into those. I
couldn't do it.
Yeah, no. They kind of expanded on the idea. They the way they treated Godzilla on that one was kind of the Shin Godzilla way, but they didn't go full. Shin Godzilla is a great movie. I'm going to reference that a couple times too.
Yeah,
but I'll save
agreed.
it.
Yeah, hell yeah. This I got the this is predates Shin Godzilla by like 20 years, but I felt like it was kind of similar with like the human story where there's like. Kind of like they're arguing in Parliament, like should we shoot? Can we shoot this monster? Like
that's the note I made is because it's kind of how the Japanese military really is. Because Shin Godzilla is kind of a big like it really is made as like a commentary on that.
Yeah, it's like a satire. Exactly that. Like they can't have an army, so they have this self-defense force, and like everything has to be voted on. They can't just like defend themselves.
Yep. I couldn't find that. I couldn't find the title of that game. I'm disappointed.
I'm sure it'll come up at some point. And then I love the idea of the sequel for Shin Godzilla. It's never gonna get made now, but like I said, I'll bring that up later because towards the end of the movie, I got a comment about that.
All right. We're on the scene where they find the tablet with all the runes on it.
Oh yeah,
Viking runes.
Viking runes. Yep.
I mean, I know the Vikings got around. I don't think they made it to Japan, though.
No, probably not. Would have been cool, though.
And I was going to say, we have to start work on a Vikings versus like samurai movie right now.
I'm in.
Let's do it.
I mean, we already had Vikings and Native Americans.
Yes. Yeah. Well, what was the name of that movie?
Pathfinder.
Yeah, it's the same name as the game.
You know what? I didn't hate that movie.
I never saw it.
Oh, I have it on DVD. Yeah. I have a lot of shameful things on DVD.
I mean, who doesn't?
Yeah, it's a rite of passage for people of our lineage.
Yeah, I mean, I have every Godzilla movie on Blu-ray. So.
Oh, nice. Oh, you have the box set, right? You showed me the picture the other day.
Well, that's for the Showa.
Yeah,
but,
that's just
I mean,
the older ones.
I have every era. I have every. Actually, I am missing one, the Biollante one, but
Oh yeah, that's the one that was always on like TNT, like late at night.
Yeah.
That's where I know I first saw it.
Oh, so you've got
it's a hard Blu-ray to find.
you've got the Criterion collection. Is that what you were saying?
I do.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's so sweet.
Oh.
Oh,
nice.
yeah, look at that bastard.
I want that so bad.
I actually I saved the cover art of that as a visual reference to show my tattoo artist. So like I want this style, like
Yes,
bold
like that-
lines, bright colors kind of thing.
The pop art kind of
Yeah.
like, yeah.
It was like
Yeah, the art in the book is amazing. I'm a big fan of it, but so yeah. I think it's like really interesting how they go farther into the background later, but I think it's an interesting origin, but they only like briefly touch on it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I
this,
completely
yeah.
missed. Like, I mean, the whole significance of the tablet thing. I did get later on. They're like, oh, this thing is from like Atlantis or whatever.
yeah, there was a lot of ties.
Yeah,
to
I was like, I missed
Atlantis.
the origin. Wait, no, I didn't. I actually did catch that.
Yeah, pretty much. I guess the idea is like they made the bird bat things, whatever they're called, guy or whatever.
Yeah.
Gaius.
They made them, and Gamera's kind of their solution to it is
They made
the
them
idea.
too good, basically.
Yeah.
And yeah,
Yeah, because it's like a perfect organism because it can self-reproduce.
Yeah, I really thought this was going to be like a slog to get through, but like I enjoyed it.
It moves
Yeah.
along at a decent pace. Like it's basically like a mid-90s action movie.
Yeah.
That's kind of the way it plays out.
Yeah, it really doesn't like stop. So, and like I said, they definitely made it, more serious. I think they took some cues from the middle Godzilla series, like Godzilla 80. They kind of bounced off of that, I think, because that was kind of like a darker tone.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, as far as the look of the movie too, I thought for being a movie, it's almost 30 years old. Like, if you just showed me a couple of clips from this movie that didn't have any like technology in it, I would think it was made within the past like 10 years.
Yeah.
Like, it looks really good for how how old it is at the time.
Yeah, it's
yeah.
Other than the style of things, like
With the computers in the background. there,
computers and hairstyles and things like that, it's not overly dated.
Yeah.
Hey, want to know something really cool? When they fight at night, you can actually see them, unlike the new Godzilla movies.
Yeah. It's not just like rubble flying around and some smoke and like an impression of a monster.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Apparently the new 4K version fixes it, but I haven't watched it yet.
I don't know. I thought they did a better job of it in King of the Monsters than they did in the 2014 Godzilla. And then I feel like they went like a step back in Godzilla vs. Kong. Like,
yep.
Well, people complained about the night fighting, so they're like, all right, it's gonna be Hong Kong, so it's gonna be like daylight, pretty much. Yeah.
But even so, like, it was still a little like, again, just rubble flying around and like an impression of a monster.
Yep.
We need to get Gamera versus Godzilla. That movie needs to happen.
I am very surprised that hasn't happened by now. Like,
I imagine that Gamera versus Kong would be fun to watch, but I know that Gamera would suck his arms and head in and spin around like he does,
yeah,
and fly at Kong, and he would just bat his ass with his axe.
Yeah, pretty much.
He would call his shot Babe Ruth style.
Though I don't know, because they made King Kong as big as Godzilla, and Godzilla is about 9 times bigger than Gamera.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of weird. Like the sizes of these monsters.
Yeah, how big is Gamera supposed to be?
All the time.
Well, I know Gamera weighs about 10,000 tons, where Godzilla's 90,000 tons.
Okay, yeah.
So, like, and you gotta, like, in this, I thought Gamera looked pretty big, but not, like, towering over everything like Godzilla does. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's, like, at the scene where he's at the stadium, he's, like, taller than the stadium, but, like, maybe just by his shoulders and head, like, not by much.
Yeah.
Whereas the stadium's like Godzilla's foot.
Yeah. Yeah, like, current Godzilla, like the...
Yeah, old Godzilla wasn't that tall.
That no,
Yeah, like the legendary and like the new like Shin Godzilla are around like 400 feet tall.
Yeah,
Those are like the
something like that.
biggest
Yeah.
ones. Yeah.
well, that's the thing too with the old movies. Though it was never consistent the size of Godzilla.
That's true.
Yeah. In the first one, he's like as big as like the buildings in like downtown Tokyo, which weren't that big at the time.
No. Nope.
Nope.
Yeah, because there was like that quote unquote mountain on the island, and he's just peeking over.
Yeah, just peeking up over the mountain. Yeah, in that one scene. Let's see. I think we're good to give this a rating.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say I'm resisting the urge to do like the split rating. Like
No, I think this one can just be one rating.
Dinging it for the effects, which are like the practical effects are pretty good for the time. For the time, the practical effects, so, the older you get, the better the practical effects get, basically.
Yeah,
right
pretty much.
But the CGI is just really bad. The story is not bad. Compared to a lot of Godzilla movies, like it's a pretty decent story. It kept me engaged.
Yeah.
So I'll give it points for that. I am gonna go with I'm gonna give this, I think, I'm gonna go with a 6 on this, I think.
Okay.
Again, from like I've said this before, like kaiju movies, as much as I love them, at this point in my life, they're like a utility thing for me. Like I put them on like in the background. So like it's not often that I can sit down and like just get into one, but I got into this. So like it was a good movie. I might even be being a little bit too harsh, but I think I'm gonna stick with that 6.
See, I'm also gonna give it a 6.
Yeah.
I'm dinging it for some of the crappy CGI. And every once in a while the puppet work's a little shady too. But I found the story to be a little clumsy.
Yeah, I mean, there's some of the mythology is just weird. Like I didn't know why they were.
Yeah, it's just like
the whole thing with the tablet really confused me. Like the ruins.
Yeah,
the runes, not ruins.
Runes.
Yeah,
runes. Yeah, it's just kind of out of left field, and they don't go into it too much. Like, if I gave a little more, it'd be fine.
I got a theory on that. I think they wanted to do like a nuclear origin, but they're like, oh wait, we probably shouldn't do that because they mentioned, there's the plutonium. Good thing it didn't leak into the sea.
Yeah,
because we might have a Godzilla problem.
Yeah, I mean they might. I mean they probably do get more into the backstory of Gamera in the 2 movies that follow this.
Yeah,
because this is the first of a trilogy. But I haven't. I
would love a prequel movie where they explain how the hell these people made these creatures.
Yeah. Like I said, like that might happen. That might happen in the 2 that come after this, but who knows?
Fuck around and make a giant monster.
Yeah,
I got nothing going on.
I'm assuming that they probably were an advanced civilization, but who knows? Maybe they were doing the Pokemon thing where it's like, all right, we're gonna just create kaiju for our entertainment. oh no, we made them too good.
It's possible. I mean, it's Atlantis, so your guess is as good as mine. They're either super advanced, crazy people, or they're just kind of regular people, a little bit advanced, and fuck their whole world up.
That's kind of how kaiju movies go, though. It's like, oh god, all right, it's got to either be nuclear disaster, ancient civilization, or aliens. Yeah, we backed ourselves into a corner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What reboot do we want to do this time? Well, yeah. Currently, like as far as the legendary stuff, we're on ancient civilization.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, it's full circle, man. We're going right back to Gamera.
Yep. Yeah, I mean that's where you get all your Mothra stuff. That's all ancient civilizations.
Yeah.
The fairies,
and like we said too, they've always hit it or like tried to kind of do an expanded universe because, like I said, in Destroy All Monsters, like everything that Toho's ever made except for Gamera appeared. But from my understanding is that Gamera wasn't originally a Toho monster. It was made by another company or something, and then released by Toho later or something.
Yeah, I believe so. Like I saw the copyright on it recently, and it wasn't Toho. It was something else. I don't remember. Or maybe, I don't know. I could be thinking of another one.
I think you might be thinking of another one.
Yeah. I don't know.
But anyway,
whatever.
How would you rate this movie?
I'm trying to rate it with a little bit more nostalgia as like I know when I was a kid watching the TNT movies. I would probably give it a 7. I'm sitting at a 7 just because you know, they don't rehash the origin story and they get to the monsters fighting. I don't think the fight was as strong as some other movies, but
definitely not.
Yeah.
I just, you know, I thought it was just like pretty entertaining, and it's only an hour and a half, so like it didn't overstay its welcome.
Yeah. I have a newfound appreciation for the 90-minute movie.
Yeah.
I really do. Like I've always been a fan of like longer movies, like, you know, when they deserve the length. Like I'm not afraid of like a 2-hour, you know, 2.5 hour movie, like, you know, or even longer.
Yeah, man.
Oh yeah, I could sit down and watch Lord of the Rings and be fully invested.
Yeah,
but,
The extended cuts.
But like within the past like year or so, man, the 90-minute movie is just like, I just want to get in, watch a movie, like get it over with. Because I know
it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I know I'm not going to be left alone. Like I'm probably going to be interrupted. Like,
yeah,
you know,
I want to get my entertainment in and carry on with the rest of my day.
Yeah. I really really appreciate
Mad Max Fury Road's a go-to for me if like I just want to kill some time and have something going on in the background.
Yeah.
It's great for that. It's quick and it's just fun. You know,
there's always something happening. Yeah,
exactly. And you know that there was definitely something always like happening in this. Like you know, like even when the monsters weren't there, they at least tried to keep it engaging or interesting. Like they're like, oh, you know, we found this ancient civilization. Oh, and then they kept adding to the background. So like it kind of built up the origin and how these guys were supposed to like fight each other. And
yeah,
you know, it's kind of like
the human drama
how
was
Godzilla
good.
versus Kong was.
Yeah.
Too much human drama in that one though.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I've said it before and I'll say it again. That movie would have been a perfect 10 if it was like 45 minutes long, had no human dialogue. Like, you know, like I said, the only human interaction we get is with Kong and the girl. And that's the only way we know what's going on with the humans. Like, that would have been like the perfect movie.
Well, they're saying if they continue, the directors want to kind of go that direction, which I think only makes sense at this point.
Yeah.
Can you imagine?
Just don't do what Toho did before and have the monsters talk to each
other.
Oh,
yeah, no, never again.
But can you imagine a giant monster movie made with the caliber of technology that they have right now that they put into those movies where there are 0 humans?
Like, that's what I need to happen. Yeah, I want that so badly.
Like, no dialogue. Everything that they're thinking is interpreted by what they're doing.
Yeah.
And they just beat the shit out of each other.
Yeah. You know, we see them go off, lick their wounds for a little bit. Like, you know, maybe we get some kind of montage of all the monsters doing what they need to do.
Yeah.
And then boom, there's another fight. Like,
can you imagine a Godzilla Rocky training montage?
Just him in like King Kong's like his trainer.
Yeah, he's like
standing in the ocean.
Yeah,
like standing in the ocean catching whales like under the water. Like, that would be amazing.
Yeah.
They're trying to fight off Mecha Ghidorah from the future because why not?
He's doing arm curls with mastodons.
Yeah.
King Kong's doing jump rope with the skull crawlers.
Oh god, maybe like Godzilla goes to Siberia like in Rocky 4, like it's training in the wilderness, like has the big beard.
Oh my god. We've gone too far. We've gone too far.
No such thing.
Oh, that'd be amazing. Well, that's a thing I need in my life.
All right, we're gonna write that right.
That you never knew.
Right after the Viking Samurai movie, we're gonna do that. Yeah.
Maybe just before.
Hey, we're putting it out there. Hollywood just got to do it. They got to come through.
Oh, we'll up the ante. Viking Samurai movie and that movie shared universe. Yeah, that's how we're gonna do it.
That's the one. Yeah. That's it. Done.
I mean, they came close with Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla versus Godzilla. The one that's in the Millennium Trilogy, that's like the Matrix.
Oh yeah. I think I've only seen that one like once. It was on like Comet, which like
it's
Comet.
Oh, I got it on Blu-ray. It's a mess of a movie, but it's like they love the Matrix. They're like, all right, the Matrix needs Godzilla. We're gonna make this happen. And you got people fighting on motorcycles and latex gear, and
I don't know how to feel about that.
Yeah, it's like sunglasses and everything, man.
It really is like full on Matrix.
It is. They're like from the future, and it's Mechagodzilla. So there's even like a cyber net. It's like,
oh no.
Just watch it.
Unfortunate.
have a few beers. It is entertaining at least.
Yeah. All right. Woof.
Anyway.
Yeah, I think that's going to bring us into our IMDb trivia segment of the show.
Not to bother you with trivia.
I used to think they were kind of trivial.
So, I have almost all of the IMDb trivia that was available, which is not much. I think I left out like
movies not.
I think I left out like 3 things.
Yeah, I was going to say the better known as. Well, the better known as this week was a little bit thin.
It's got a banger though.
Yeah, Nick found something out that we're gonna have stuff to talk about.
All right, so IMDb trivia. Japan's premier film magazine, Kinema Junpo, includes this film in their prestigious top 10 best films of the year for 1995. It was the first for a kaiju film, and when the readers of Kinema Junpo selected the top 200 greatest Japanese films ever made, they ranked this film in the top 100 best of all time, which is really hard for me to wrap my head around.
It's not for me.
Really?
They must love their Gamera.
Well, I was gonna say, I mean, like, again, comparing this to other kaiju movies, to other Godzilla movies, this fucking story and the quality, the production quality of the movie is top notch.
Yeah, but that's you comparing this to other kaiju movies.
Yeah.
This magazine is like Japanese cinema, like all Japanese cinema.
Yeah.
Like 50 of them have to be Kurosawa movies.
It's like their AFI top 100.
Yeah, it
this
kind of is.
There, yeah.
Oh man. In making the film, the director's main inspiration were Godzilla films by Ishiro Honda, which fucking obviously.
Obviously, even that scene in the beginning is like almost straight out of the first Godzilla, where like he's attacking, like he comes up on the island there.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, it's not even Gamera, it's the birds. It's like in the hurricane.
Yes.
Yeah, like in the dark, like just like in the first Godzilla movie.
Yep. Yeah, it's like.
But yeah,
it's like destruction in the storm.
Yeah.
That's what I mentioned though, is one thing I did appreciate is like Gamera in this movie really knew how to make an entrance. Like his like when they first show him off out of the water, like it was kind of cool. And then like later when he comes back to fight the bird, whatever it's called.
We're all avoiding saying Gyaos or Gyaos.
Gyaos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The goose.
Because, you know.
Goose.
We're going to call him Goose. Yeah, let's just go Goose. When he like comes at, you know, obviously, you know, it's Gamera coming, but like to do like the earthquake and the buildings are collapsing and he just comes out of the dirt. Like that's kind of like a throwback to some of the Showa era Godzilla because he came out of the dirt a lot. So like I kind of like that.
There was a really cool shot too. I think it's also in the first time we see Gamera.
The underwater shot?
No, where it's him like he's busting through the city and like he busts through like this construction building. So all these girders, he's breaking through all these girders.
Yeah.
It looks really cool.
Yep. That was a good one.
I loved when he was Goose was breaking through the building. They're like, all right, this building shot looks cool, but let's just have him randomly use his breath weapon and it just like flashes through the building. It looks like really bad. but like the scene looked great and it's like this was unnecessary, but
I did like Goose's the idea of Goose's breath weapon because it was like sonic and then turned into like a laser beam
into a laser. Yeah.
Like that's a cool idea.
And they didn't really do much with it. Like when it was in its bird form in the stadium, it cut the metal perfectly.
Yeah.
And then I felt like that was never like really brought up again.
Yeah, because he did the same thing when it attacked the bridge, but like it didn't split the bridge in half. It just like rattled the
that's what I'm saying. It's like
couplings off.
Yeah.
I felt like they made that like such a big deal and they never like came back to it. I mean, maybe I missed something, but like I just felt like that was like the fact, and I loved how they were like sitting there looking, they're just like touching it. You don't know if it's radioactive or anything.
Yeah, it was perfectly smooth where it cut through, and they're definitely taking notice of it, but then they don't talk about it ever again.
Yeah. Speaking of cool shots, we mentioned a couple. There was the one I really liked too was when Goose flies into Tokyo and he knocks over the TV tower. They knock over the TV tower trying to kill him.
Oh yeah,
and he just makes the nest and like it's that shot at sunset where he's just like
that was
on top of the tower.
That silhouette was really good.
Yeah, that was
they did frame that shot really well.
I think her name's Asagi, and she's the one that's like bonded to Gamera. I don't know about you guys, but I got PTSD from Halloween 5 and 6.
Like
I'm like, oh no,
Thorn Cult Godzilla version.
Yeah, it's like, is this going to become some like ancient like cult thing where like it's a cool idea that she could communicate with him, but like
Well,
I was afraid they might go.
It was that that piece of metal that they found in the ground. Yeah. And then apparently she was the only one that hung on to one. Or okay, so her boyfriend stole one and gave it to her. She was the only one like hanging on to one, I guess.
Yeah,
all the others were like in a lab or whatever.
But the weird thing about it is, sure, she can communicate, but why is she suffering the same injuries? It's just an interesting add-on.
Yeah. I guess it adds to the dramatic impact. You know, so like you want Gamera to win not only because he's the hero of the film, but also because it's
the main,
it's gonna save her if he survives.
I love when he comes back at the end and gives her like the nod before he
Yeah.
takes off.
Yep.
He heals early. Thanks.
But like that's the thing too, is like if anyone picked up the stones, or was she like chosen? I think it's hinted at that she was kind of like picked.
It might have been. I maybe didn't pay as close attention as I should have. Maybe.
My attention was waning as we got towards the end. Yeah.
For the dialogue, I was like, "Oh, cool! Monster fights, monster fights, monster fights." Dialogue.
Oh fuck! I gotta read the rest of this movie. Yeah.
Oh, when they took to the air, I was just like, "Oh no! There's no way this is gonna come out good."
Yeah, when he's flying with just the jets out of his ass, and like,
I gotta say,
his head and arms are still out in the front.
I hate watching Gamera fly. I hate it.
See though, you say that, but have you seen Godzilla fly?
That's even worse. That is way worse. Yeah.
Is it?
It even says in the Godzilla Blu-ray, you don't see that every day. That's the name of the scene.
Oh no.
Yeah. It's not good. He flies by like shooting atomic breath out of his mouth.
Oh
flying
man.
Backwards. Yeah.
He flies backwards.
He wraps his tail and he just flies over Tokyo. It's like they didn't care at that point. It was great.
So okay, he flies backwards like powdered toast man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He farts cinnamon and sugar as he's flying.
Oh my god. Let's get back to some trivia.
Yeah, sorry.
Oh god. The goose creature was performed by a female actress so that it would convey a more feminine-like behavior. And apparently this was the first time a kaiju was ever performed by a woman.
Oh, all right.
Well, it didn't translate.
Not really, no.
I couldn't, because they're big, bulky suits. You don't know who's under there. There could be 5 people under there.
There's not really a whole lot of like feminine motion that it can do. Like it flaps its wings and it shakes its head.
Yeah, it's not walking around with its hand on its hip, or like.
I get what they were going for, because it was like a matronly type of creature, you know, with the eggs and the reproducing and all that shit. But
true, yeah, no, and they doubled down on it, but you wouldn't be able to tell. But man, she must have been. Those rubber suits are really heavy, so she's probably died.
Oh yeah, I would assume that it's a miserable experience being inside one of those.
Oh, most
things.
likely, yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, I know Godzilla is notoriously horrible, and another fun thing about Godzilla is like you can see the suit degrade through in the Showa period because they only use like 3 suits.
Yeah.
Later in the series, it's like hanging on by like duct tape.
Well, that goes back to our we did Destroy All Monsters, and some of them look like shit, and we're only in like 1 scene or 2 because the suits had been in storage for 10 years.
Yeah, they completely like degraded.
Oh, what's our next fact here? Let's see here. The comma-shaped amulet related to Gamera throughout the I always butcher this. Heisei era.
I can't even do it. Yeah.
Heisei.
The second Godzilla
the H
period.
era.
Yeah.
Is called Magatama in Japan. It was initially used as decorative jewelry and later found religious and ceremonial uses. Artifacts have been dated from approximately 1000 BCE to 500 CE. So they're tying their actual historical artifacts into this thing, which is
pretty cool.
Which is neat.
Yeah.
It's like if you found a crucifix and you're like, oh man, Must be some sort of giant Jesus monster. Which I didn't know I needed that until right now.
Yeah, I was like, shit, I'd go to church way more. Jesus was a kaiju.
Well, he was just a regular Jew.
It would be a lot easier to pick your religion.
Yeah. Yep. Am I a Jedi or a Kai Jesuit?
In Bandai, we trust.
It's like pit them together. I'll pick which one wins.
Yes. Okay, so if you gotta make this movie, Jesus is a kaiju. Is Satan a mecha? He's definitely like a mech suit, right?
Yeah, because like there's got to be some kind of message about like technology being evil and like, the lure of the devil. Like I can see that.
Who would be piloting it? Judas, yes.
Yeah, like
and the mech is made out of silver.
Yeah, like
got it.
Oh, that's perfect.
There we go.
We're gonna have that scene where like Kaiju Jesus is like, Judas, like please stop this. Like we don't have to do this. Like, fuck, this is gonna be awesome.
That's dumb. I'm not gonna lie, that's dumb as shit.
I mean,
I need it.
All of these movies. Your podcast is literally called Big Dumb Monsters.
Yeah, yep.
We're nothing if not true to the brand. We're like,
yeah. Nothing wrong with that.
Oh, there was the freeze frame shot.
Freeze frame.
Oh, that I was just I rewound it. I was like, that wasn't just my stream, right? My stream didn't freeze. Like, what? They left that in.
Yeah.
Oh, here comes Gamera, like lumbering over the trees.
Well, none of them are graceful. You find me a kaiju that doesn't lumber.
I gotta say the Gamera fireball is like just a pale imitation of the Godzilla atomic breath. Like,
yeah.
Though, when it wants to be, it's effective.
He is pretty accurate with it. I'll give him that. He can pick those things off out of the sky.
Yeah.
Well, at the end, like he's powered up, I think, from the fire. But like he shoots it in the face, it just blows up, and like it's got that like giant explosion that goes on for like years in the air. You know, I was like, oh, okay. Didn't know there was like a nuclear bomb in there somewhere or something.
It occurs to me now that Goose is very phallic.
Yeah,
Gamera also is pretty phallic. If you see like his head, definitely looks like a giant penis. Like,
but it's yeah.
There's like a couple of shots, like you said, the shots of him like looking up at him and like, ooh, that does not look pretty good.
Well, the Japanese love wieners, so
they do.
Yeah, and you drop some.
I'm sure it was kind of intentional.
Drop some nukes on people, and that's the shit you get. Like,
Well, it's like if you watch Evangelion, like everything is vaginas and penises, like the whole show.
Oh yeah. I'm surprised there wasn't more in Shin Godzilla since he did that too.
Yeah. Yeah. Man, that's such a great fucking movie.
Oh, it really is.
All right. I think we're going to move on to our next fact here. Unless you had something to add about Shin Godzilla.
Oh, I was just going to talk about Shin. I was going to say that the sequel, he had like 4 more forms, and Godzilla's going to pretty much become a god in the sky and like destroy the world.
Really?
Yeah, that sounds like Evangelion.
Yeah, no, it pretty much was like when they froze him, eventually he was going to break out and keep mutating like the thing, and you become a little bit more humanoid, and then you become a larger version of Godzilla, and then just like mutate and just start devouring the universe, and that's how it was going to end.
Maybe we don't need that.
Yeah. I'm good with just the one movie then.
Yeah. It'd be a cool
his forms were.
It'd be a cool artistic statement.
I just
Maybe
really
not
want
a
to
great
say
movie.
how fucking badass that scene is, where he first like fires off the atomic breath, and like it's just that stream of like black smoke that's just belching out.
Yeah.
And just, whoa, like all of Tokyo just lights up. Like,
yeah, he finally gets the power.
Yeah, oh, it's so awesome. I love that scene so much.
All right. So Noriaki Yuasa, the director of the original Gamera films, disliked this and the rest of the Heisei Gamera films because he felt like the films were made to appeal to an older and more mature audience. He felt that the films should only be for children and criticized the films for being too dramatic. He felt like there was no need for Gamera to be the guardian of the universe, and finished off by saying they're just Gamera movies and not art films. So basically,
I kind of.
He had me up until that line.
he had a stick up his ass.
Yeah.
I mean, people are taking the thing you created and changing it, but like, it's kind of funny because like, Godzilla started off being so serious and it became like a kids thing. Gamera kind of jumped off and embraced the kids thing from the beginning, but then kind of took the more serious. So it's like they kind of like both flip flopped and kind of met in the middle.
Like opposite directions, basically.
Yeah, it's like Godzilla put the clown shoes on, Gamera took them off.
Yeah, it's a good analogy.
Oh, the missiles.
Oh, wow. Yeah, and fucking
Sparklers?
Gamera does not do well with air, like, fire. Like,
No, they clipped him and now he's falling to Earth.
yeah, anytime he gets hit in the air with, like, the smallest missile, he just goes tumbling down to the ground.
Yep.
And you think he's got this giant shell, but I guess, maybe the underside's a little bit weaker, but
I don't know.
you think that giant shell would protect him from most things.
You would think.
Other than just make him way less agile. Like,
He's definitely not a Ninja Turtle.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Originally, director... I'm not going to apologize for butchering all these names.
Hold on.
You're just going to have to accept it.
I might be able to pull this off.
Better you.
No, I
than
got
me.
it. I just... Shisuke Kaneko and writer Kazunori Ito had different ideas for the
bad.
kind of... Oh, thank you. For the kind of film they wish to make. In terms of plot structure, Ito had imagined the film as a modern version of King Kong versus Godzilla, while Kaneko's idea was more akin to the War of the Gargantuas. And
Oh my God!
I don't know why anybody
Cringing
would...
both
Yeah,
ways.
why would anybody try to...
I like War of the Gargantuas.
Yeah, but if you're going to make a movie, are you going to try to make one that's kind of like War of the Gargantuas?
I would make a better,
Right.
improved version.
And honestly, like Godzilla versus King Kong almost was that because it's originally supposed to be Godzilla versus Frankenstein. I don't know if you guys know.
Oh,
that.
really? I did not know that, actually.
Oh, okay. I'm going to go off on a little tangent here,
Have
but
at it.
so
We do
the
tangents
original-
around here.
the original plan was, so whoever owned the rights to Frankenstein wanted to do a giant kaiju Frankenstein movie, and I think it was supposed to be like Frankenstein versus like King Kong or something, and then Toho was like, "Oh, Godzilla's famous," so they just ended up making it, and they had the one movie for King Kong, but they wanted to do Godzilla versus Frankenstein. That's why King Kong gets powered up by lightning.
Oh, yeah, like Frankenstein would have.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
There was
There's-
another movie with Frankenstein in it, wasn't there?
Frankenstein Conquers the World and War of the Gargantuas, and there's
okay.
another one too.
Yeah.
Yeah, War of the Gargantuas was the offshoot, but originally it's supposed to be Godzilla versus Frankenstein, which...
Is it Frankenstein versus Baragon, maybe?
Ooh, that does sound familiar.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, I think there's something like
Yeah.
that out there, so...
Yeah. I just don't know why they gave him the name Frankenstein.
Well, it's Frankenstein's monster, technically, but... but yeah, not much of a name,
Yeah, it's like were they making that movie and just like, well, we can use that because it's probably in the public domain.
Yeah. I don't think it would have been at that point.
Yeah.
It would have only been like 30 years old.
What?
Frankenstein.
The name Frankenstein?
Yeah, when they made those movies, it would have been like 35 years. Oh, no, you're
No.
right.
The
The
novel.
book is,
the
from
novel is
1800s.
like,
yeah. I'm thinking of the movie. Wow.
Yeah, it's fair
super
game.
duper old.
Yeah. That's like 18, I think, early 1800s.
Something like that.
Yeah, like I want to say before 1820, maybe.
Wicked old.
Yeah.
What else we got here? We got some facts. A couple more. This film is one of only 2 kaiju films to make it into Kinema Junpo's top 10 best of the year list. The other film was Shin Godzilla.
Oh, I mean, I give it to Shin Godzilla because I love that movie.
Yeah.
This one, I don't. And that's tough in the 90s. Like, there's just so many good movies that came out. Like, this is 95.
Yeah. So maybe Japanese cinema wasn't that strong in 95?
But you got to think they're getting some of our movies, too.
Well, I think
they're probably just considering Japanese movies.
I think this magazine is only Japanese cinema.
Well, glad we're in Japan then.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know. Like, and it's hard for me to be like, as an outsider looking in at all this kaiju stuff, like, do they take it more seriously in Japan? Or do they also go, well, these are just kind of silly monster movies and just kind of roll with it?
Yeah, that's true. I don't know.
Like, obviously it's a bigger part of their culture.
Yeah. That's the thing too, though. It's like, I think Gamera is pretty popular, but obviously Godzilla is the biggest one over there, biggest one over here. And
well, he is the king of the monsters.
Yeah.
It's true. And I mean, they have the amusement park where you can go through his mouth. Like, he's huge over there.
That is a bucket list trip for me. I want to go to that park so bad.
There's a Godzilla theme park?
It's not like a full Godzilla theme park. There's like a section of a theme park that is like, you can...
It's like Godzilla Land?
There's like the zip line you can go through, like Shin Godzilla's mouth.
No shit.
There's a ride you can go on. It's like a kind of like a video type of ride where you're in like a moving car.
Okay, so it's like a if there was like a chunk of like Universal Studios
kind of
thing.
Yeah. I think that's what it is. I don't think it's its own dedicated like Godzilla park.
It's pretty crazy though. Like, you know, you don't think things are so big, but like, I think Gundam's like the number 12 biggest franchise in the world.
Yeah.
Yeah, because stuff's bigger in like Europe and Asia like than it is here, you know?
Well, yeah, because and also Gundam is huge. It's been on TV for what? 40,
1979,
I was gonna say 40 years now. Yeah.
Over 40, yeah. But I'm just saying, it's like, you know, because we kind of get those things a little bit late. And like I said, like, I had all the classic Godzillas. I didn't know there was like 17 other movies that I never knew about.
Yeah. I mean, like, again, like, just because we get the stuff that was on TV, like, we're not getting the newest stuff. So we're like, you know, when I was a kid, it was always the older Godzilla movies.
Yeah.
Like, even those ones from the 90s, I didn't even know existed until, like, I found, like, you know, would be, like, rummaging through. Remember, like, they used to have, like, the stores at the mall that were just, like, people, like, getting rid of, like, old fucking VHS tapes? Oh, yeah, I bought a shitload of 90s Godzilla movies and those things. Yeah.
Yeah, because you couldn't see them on TV, and it's like, oh, you can get them on Blu-ray, and it's like, oh, this exists.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, it was all that, like, that bootleg market kind of stuff. Yeah.
Yep.
I feel like Gamera is much the same way, because like Gamera never crossed my path. I'm sure it was on TV, but like, you know, as a kid, I was just like, I want to see Godzilla, and that's all I cared about.
Yep.
And,
oh, Godzilla's not in this? I don't care.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mothra, they did show quite a bit of Mothra in the 90s, at least, on the Sci-Fi Channel.
Yeah, that's true. And just because, like, and Rodan a little bit. I think Rodan had a movie or two they showed.
Yeah, Sci-Fi Channel was so good in the 90s. I don't know what the fuck happened. I don't know if they just lost...
in the, Mystery Science Theater days?
Yeah. I don't know if they just lost all the rights to everything that they had, or only super nerds like us were watching it, or what, but they had great...
I grew up watching a lot of that stuff. I used to love it.
They had great movies. They had great original shows. Were awesome on Sci-Fi.
Yeah.
And then it just went to shit.
Well, it's like I don't pay for cable anymore. I stream everything because you can choose what to watch. But like, you know, TNT, I loved Monster Vision. Like, we don't get anything like that anymore.
No.
Yeah, I've noticed they've replaced like late night Friday and Saturday nights like are no longer like monster and horror movies, just superhero movies now.
Yeah,
there's always superhero movies on. Like I personally I like it, but I would like to see some monster movies in there again.
I think that's just what everybody is like wired to want now. Like, everybody wants Star Wars and superheroes.
Yeah,
for the nerd culture kind of people.
Makes sense.
Let's see. I got
Is that it for the old trivia?
No, that's not.
Oh.
I got a little bit more. Director, blah blah blah. I did that already. Did I? No, they come back here. Director Shusuke Kaneo and screenwriter Kazunori Ito did not think highly of the original Gamera films. Kaneko admitted that even as a child, he did not really like the Gamera series and never saw them in theaters. Kaneko and Ito struggled back and forth with somebody else.
Another
Japanese person. In order to change and reinvent the character. At first, Kaneko thought he should make a comedy since he thought the character was ridiculous, which he kind of is.
Yeah.
Fucking UFO.
Giant
UFO turtle. It wasn't until Ito reinvented the character's origin that the story could get underway. So
that's why he's got a different origin than because I know in the older movies, I believe he was like created in the Atlantic somehow. I think it was an accident, I believe.
Okay.
All right.
I'm double checking it. Sorry.
But that could be why I felt like the story was a little iffy, because like if they didn't know exactly where they wanted to go with it, then like there's.
It kind of makes sense with how the movie goes. Like they definitely didn't know exactly his origin, but they're like, oh, he was ancient and it happened.
Yeah. It's like they sprinkle enough of that history in to kind of like wet your whistle a little bit, but not really.
Yeah.
Not really get to the nitty gritty. And like I said, like they could go way deeper into this in the second and third movies. I just don't know because I only watched this one.
Same, because there's like a whole trilogy, and I didn't watch anything on the other movies, but apparently the original Gamera was a prehistoric species of tortoise, and gets awakened by an accidental atomic blast in a fight in the Arctic.
So another like Godzilla kind of rip-off thing that they got away from.
Yep.
Yeah, pretty
He's
much.
nuclear powered.
That's okay though. Sometimes it works out. Friday the 13th was a blatant rip-off of Halloween.
Yeah.
True.
I like Jason Voorhees much more than I like Michael Myers.
See, I'm a John Carpenter, so I'm more of a Halloween guy.
It depends on which movie you're talking about.
I think the original Friday the 13th movie is not that great.
No,
like, I don't think it holds up
boring.
that well. I think the series,
Yeah, a little bit.
it is boring. You literally watch a character make coffee for a minute and a half.
That series does really take off at 3.
Yeah, once he gets the hockey mask, that's when it's like enjoyable. Yeah.
2 was good.
Yeah,
I like 2, but
2's good. 2's probably got one of the better final girls too.
yeah, I think you're right on that.
6 is probably my favorite, just because it's so stupid.
6 is the one with that's 7 with the psychic girl, right?
7 was
6 is Jason Lives, where he's brought back as zombie Jason by Tommy
7.
Jarvis.
7 was Jason Takes Manhattan.
Yeah. No, that was 8, wasn't it?
No, that's
Is it 8? I always forget.
8's Jason. 8's Jason Takes Manhattan. 7 is Jason looks the best in 7. It's pretty much Terminator versus Carrie is what the director compares it to.
7 was the first Kane Hodder movie.
Yeah, is it A New Beginning? I think is that one, number 7. I think, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
With Terry Kaiser from
6
Weekend at Bernie's.
Yeah.
And I think I love about 6 is there's 2 different Jasons, and the paintball scenes, there's a different Jason. He's like way fatter. It's kind of funny.
A Tale of Two Jasons.
Yeah.
All right. Our last IMDb fact here. Unlike the other Gamera films, none of the films from Kaneko's trilogy, this one and the following 2, ever mentioned turtles. This was done to enhance the mythical aspects of the character, with the filmmakers later confirming that turtles do not exist in this universe.
That's amazing.
That's incredible. Yeah. Fuck it, there's no turtles in
None!
the universe.
No turtles! We have...
He's completely original. Obviously the other thing was like a bird. Goose was a bird. Yeah. Where did they're like, all right, we're gonna just put a shell and a creature
Goose
in it.
wasn't even a bird. Goose was a fucking pterodactyl. Like,
It wasn't pterodactyl. It was Rodan.
It's basically Rodan, yeah. It's Rodan with head armor.
They both have that like special look to them too when you get the close up on the face. Like,
yeah, it's the bug eyes.
Yeah.
Oh my god, yeah. And then like Goose, when it's younger, had like googly eyes. Like the eye was all over the place. Like I was like, whoa.
That's the main problem with a lot of these kaiju movies is like that's the way they do the eyes.
Yeah, we talked about this in the Destroy All Monsters episode when they show that one close up of Rodan. It's just like, ooh,
Yeah, they're just big bulbous eyes, and they look like they're shocked all the time.
Pretty much, yeah. That's why I think when it goes to the Super Goose, just making it have when it had red eyes, I think was a good touch because then you don't see it.
Yeah, that looked cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like you couldn't have done that earlier. I would have think this thing looked way cooler.
I mean,
hold on, this is a really bad shot where he drops the subway car on the people running.
Oh yeah.
This is a really horrible special effect. I think it's this because he's flying with the subway car in his talons right now.
Yeah. Yeah, he just picked it up.
Oh god, that was so bad. Anyway, moving on to our next segment, better known as we will start off with director Shusuke Kaneko. He apparently directed, there were 2 Death Note movies back in 2006. I know Netflix did one, I think it was like 2019 or 2020 maybe.
Yeah.
That did not go over well with a lot of fans.
I heard that.
Yeah.
I was not really into Death Note, so I didn't really watch that.
Yeah, no, but I heard it was pretty horrible. But he directed 2 Death Note movies in 2006.
Oh shit.
Death Note and what was the other one? Death Note: The Last Name is the name of that one.
Okay.
He also directed one of the more batshit crazy Godzilla movies, Godzilla, Mothra, and King Ghidorah: Giant Monsters All Out Attack.
Oh, that is a
That's
good
a
movie.
wild title.
I love I love that one. It's called GMK for short.
Okay.
It's a mouthful, that title. This is when they tried to make Godzilla a villain again. Like they kind of felt that he was like too much of a sympathetic character.
Yeah.
So they wanted to make him, an all-out bad guy again.
That's a badass cover.
Yeah.
It is, yeah. And like you said, Godzilla's a bad guy, and they all team up to try to save the world from Godzilla.
Yeah, and like this incarnation of Godzilla is made up of the souls of all the soldiers who died in World War II.
Excuse me?
Yeah, it's the ghosts. It's the ghosts of all the Japanese soldiers from World War II coming back to like wreak vengeance.
What?
Exactly.
The fuck?
Exactly. My wife actually just bought me a figure from this movie when she was away last weekend at Katsucon in Baltimore. I actually now own both of the figures from this movie. This is the Godzilla, like he's got like the whited out eyes and like he's just really like ferocious and mean looking.
Yeah.
So yeah, I have both of these motherfuckers.
Sweet.
That's awesome.
Moving on, Shinobu Nakayama. Let's see. He was.
I like that. This is a man, right?
Yes.
Go up a little bit. Actress.
Listed as actress.
That is a woman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, no, it is. It is. Okay.
What the fuck? What are you doing to me?
Hey, look, you just saw a picture of a guy there and made the inference.
Yeah. Well, then you agreed with me.
Well, I'm hosting. I'm trying to be,
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Trying to be affable here.
Yeah.
Let's see. I keep forgetting the name and I have to go back up. Shinobu. Okay, Shinobu was in this movie, still in the 2000s. Here we go. 1995. Mayumi Nagamine. There we go. Let's see. There was a reason I saved this. There was not a lot of like people that I did save from the cast of this movie. Just because like most of the credits are things nobody's, none of our listeners are ever gonna, have heard of. A lot of Japanese movies. Some things, there was some things like Godzilla movies or Ultraman movies or things like that, or Ultraman shows.
Yeah. Actually, I was clicking through a couple of these. There was a lot of people on Ultraman.
Yeah. The various like flavors of Ultraman over the years. A couple of Kamen Riders. Oh, I think I know why I saved this person. There were a lot of people who were on like Japanese versions of American shows. And this person was one of them, Shinobu. She was on the Japanese version of Cold Case Shinjutsu no Tobira, and also on the Japanese version of CSI Crime Scene Talks. There was another one. I don't think
that show has been on the air for 10 years.
That's crazy. Well, CSI has been on for like 20-something years, hasn't it?
No.
I want to say CSI has been on since like 2001.
Yeah, it's been on for a while.
Yeah. They used to show reruns of CSI on Spike TV.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, that's how old CSI is.
Remember when it was TNN?
TNN, yeah, the National Network. Then it was the National Network.
Yeah.
And then it was Spike TV.
CSI came out, looks like May 17, 2010.
What?
That's not right.
That is not right.
That's
no way.
Oh no, I'm sorry. That's when it ended.
Yeah,
it premiered October 6, 2000.
Yeah, there we go. I was gonna say
Okay.
That had to have been on like 2001.
So yeah, it's been like 22 years.
There was another like not Cold Case. The Good Wife. There was like something the Gudu Waifu, like
Jesus
colon the Good
Christ.
Wife. Yeah. But yeah, that's why I didn't save a lot of these people, just because it's nothing that's going to ring any bells with our listeners.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't really travel outside of.
I'm going to save
Japan.
I'm going to save her for last.
Yeah. I looked around just to like throw a second set of eyes. Not a single Murder, She Wrote.
Yeah, no, I was hoping like maybe somebody did one episode of Murder, She Wrote.
Like a couple of people have been on American TV a little bit.
Yeah. There were a few that I did save on here,
but not much.
This is episode, I think, 36 of this show.
This is our 4th in a row.
Yeah. So prior to that streak, I don't think we had 4 movies where we didn't have one actor who wasn't in Murder, She Wrote.
Yeah.
And now, now have gone 4 shows in a row with no Murder, She Wrote.
We're picking weird eras and countries of origin.
And just bad movies. We've had a couple of bad movies.
Yeah. Yeah. Nobody from Deathbed is going to be on Murder, She Wrote.
Yeah. Oh God. Although this is gonna get away from this, but if I had my choice of watching Deathbed or the new Texas Chainsaw Massacre again,
oh man,
I would probably just throw myself in front of a train.
I haven't watched it yet, but I need to do a review on it.
I just watched the new Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Like,
I heard it's so bad.
Some really cool kills.
We finished it maybe like 45 minutes before 8:00.
Yeah.
Holy shit! Did I hate this movie?
Well, like, I wish it was clever at all.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Is this just like, okay? Gamera is a movie where there's no turtles in this universe. Apparently, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie takes place in a universe where nobody has figured out you can pick up somebody's gun if they drop it when they're dead. Nobody's figured that out in the whole movie.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, because there's at least 2 or 3 scenes where we could have ended this movie, and saved all of us a whole lot of pain and discomfort, just by picking up the gun that's on the ground 2 feet away from the person.
Which is weird because it's such a pro-gun movie.
Yeah, it's very, very pro-gun.
Anti-woke.
Yeah. Yep. The cannon fodder in this movie is like, it is a literal busload of stereotypes.
It is.
Of left-wing
100%.
stereotypes. Yeah.
So I don't want to like super spoil anything for you because you haven't seen it. But there's one scene where a guy goes, "Try anything and you're canceled." He said that to a guy wearing somebody else's face
holding a chainsaw.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Good luck with that.
Try anything and I literally went, "Oh, come on." There were at least 2 or 3 scenes in this movie where I was at the top of my lungs screaming, "Just shoot the fucking guy!" Like, just shoot him.
Yeah.
That series has been off the rails for years.
I liked Texas Chainsaw Massacre at the beginning, like that era where they're trying to like relaunch it. Wasn't bad. It wasn't good.
Was
but
like mid 2000s? Those movies, like
the one with Arlie Ermy.
Yeah, those weren't horrible. They were like entertaining. Not the greatest movies, but like I liked watching them.
Yeah,
this was painful to watch.
It really was not good.
No, like nothing makes sense.
I'm looking forward to it.
So bad. Anyway, moving on. Trying to get back to this movie.
I just need to like hold your attention right here because say that person's name.
Yukijiro Hotaru.
Okay. That person, scroll down a little bit, was in something called Molester Train Momo's Ass
no,
in
it gets worse.
1983. Gets worse?
There's a reason I saved...
it gets worse.
Oh, yeah.
God.
Yukijiro Hotaru. We're going to go through the whole series of movies this dude was in. Most of them, none of the movies he was in anybody's ever heard of, but they've got some great names, that's for sure.
What the fuck is going on right now?
Hold on, let me get down to the bottom here, because it starts right off the bat. His first movie was in 1983. It was called Molester Train, Rumiko's Ass. That was followed up in 1983, same year, by its sequel, Molester Train, Kiko's Hips. Followed up by the trequel, the thriquel, also in 1983, Molester Train, Momo's Ass.
The serial rape murderer?
Yeah, that was also in 1983. This guy had a big 1983. The serial rape murderer.
Apparently.
1984, Groper Train. Let's see. 1984 again, Groper Train sequel, Groper Train Wedding Capriccio. And then 1984, Molester's School Infirmary.
I'm very uncomfortable right now.
Yeah. Oh, there's a Molester series. There's a Molester, universe. 1985, Molester's Tour Bus.
What the fuck is
Then
happening?
there's one more Molester movie, I feel like. 1986, Molester's Delivery
I don't
Service.
like anything with Lolita in the title. Just gonna put that right out there in
Lolita
front.
Noban Onanji. But that's it for the Molester, Rape Train, and Grope Train, and movies named after people's asses.
Jesus Christ.
Does he ironically play an inspector in this movie?
I believe he does, yeah.
Subway serial rape.
Inspector Osako, yeah. Yeah, Subway serial rape. This dude's in some interesting films. I don't know who this guy's agent is, but he's edgy, man. He is edgy.
And then Gamera.
But he's, he probably went to a bunch of stuff and couldn't get anything. They're like, you've really fit this profile, and ran with that.
He has a cameo appearance in Giant Monsters All Out Attack as Suicidal Man.
Hey, Suicide Club. I used to have that DVD.
That's amazing.
Jesus
Christ.
Any other oddly named movies this dude was in? I think that was it. That's pretty intense as it is.
That's a lot. That's a lot to take in.
He had quite the career.
Yeah. Let's see. Hirotaro Honda. I saved him because he is in he's in a couple of these Kamen Rider movies and TV shows. I'm not too big on that. I don't know a lot of it, but I know that it's pretty popular.
It looks like a big bad Beetleborg.
Yeah, I think it's pretty much like a Beetleborg, Power Rangers type of show.
Yeah.
I saved it because it's in that shared universe that I mentioned earlier with Shin Godzilla and Ultraman.
A lot of TV.
Evangelion.
A lot of TV in this guy.
Yeah, he's done a lot of TV stuff. But again, I can't even pronounce half of these.
No. Hey, Fathers.
Yeah.
You can pronounce
There you
that.
go. Faders. Oh, fuck. Fathers. Last up, Akira Kubo. I saved him because he is also in Destroy All Monsters, which we talked about a couple of weeks ago. He's also in Invasion of the Astro Monster, which is a Ghidorah movie.
That was the first Ghidorah, wasn't it?
I think so.
I believe it is. And then it's Monster Zero after that.
That's
Or he's called Monster Zero in that one, I think. I forget.
I
I
don't remember.
Every Godzilla movie's got two names.
Yeah, that's what it is. I think some of the movies I think are the same movie, and we're thinking they're separate ones.
That could be.
Because I want to see there's just a...
There are 4 Ghidorah movies, though.
They're all very similar. They're all just Godzilla movies with,
Yeah.
With aliens, yeah. Because it either goes to aliens or they throw in time travel.
Yeah.
Which is when time travel gets involved, any movie's just done.
Let's see. Is there another reason that I saved him? I don't think there is.
I don't know.
Yeah, that was pretty much it. He's in Destroy All Monsters, which we talked about.
I mean, you're going back to the 50s now, so
yeah, this dude's been
nothing
around.
You're going to see.
And yeah, I doubt a lot of our listeners are 50s Japanese cinema film aficionados.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Hey, yeah, I don't want to underestimate you guys. I hope some of you are, but I know we're definitely not. Our last person, Ayako Fujitani, she played, I'm trying to get the name, it was the daughter with the Gamera necklace.
Yeah.
Where is she? There, Asagi. There we go.
Asagi.
Yep.
She's in, I believe, all 3 of these Gamera movies, or at least the first 2.
She's in all 3.
She was actually in a few American shows as well. She's on The Last Ship, which was a show on TNT a couple of years back. She was also on Mozart in the Jungle, which was, I believe, an Amazon show from 2018.
Oh, okay. Wow.
The reason we saved her, though, as I was going through this, I'm looking through her IMDb, and I saw The Patriot, and I'm like, 1998, that can't be the Mel Gibson Patriot.
I thought the same thing.
Yeah, I clicked it, and no, it's the Steven Seagal Patriot. But, as Nick found out, she is not only Steven Seagal's co-star.
She is Giant Fat Liar's daughter.
Yeah, she is the offspring of Steven Seagal. I forget who the other. I don't know if she's an actress, but the woman
I don't think she is. I don't think she's an actress because I clicked on her name.
Yeah.
In the bio, and nothing came up.
Let me see. It's almost like I have it right here.
It's so weird. It's like if you have an internet movie database.
Yeah. Where did you see that?
See full bio down there at the bottom of that paragraph.
See full bio.
Yep.
Yep. Yeah. Daughter of Steven Seagal and Miyako Fujitani. Half siblings, Annalisa, Dominic, Arissa, Savannah, and Kunzang Seagal.
Those are some fucking names. Holy shit.
Fucking Steven Seagal gets around, man.
Yeah.
He's got that Sino, Russo area just locked up, man.
You can't look at him the same. I don't know if you ever heard Tom Segura's bit on Steven Seagal. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
I know I have. Is that where he's talking about where he's just just
because he's a fucking expert on everything.
Yeah, where he's talking about how Steven Seagal's out of his fucking mind. Yeah.
Rob Schneider tells a story. I think he was I think it was when he was on SNL. When Steven Seagal hosted SNL,
where he was reportedly the worst host that they've ever worked with,
and he saw him coming out of his dressing room, and he was trying to make small talk. Hey, what's going on, Steven? How are you? What are you doing? He's like, I just read the greatest script I've ever that's ever been written, ever. And Rob Schneider's like, oh wow, that's cool. Who wrote it? Me.
That sounds like Steven Seagal.
Sounds about right.
Oh,
that's amazing.
Seagal.
Steven Seagal versus Gamera. Let's see it.
I just want to see Steven Seagal standing in one spot as Gamera's charging him. And
he doesn't even need to be giant Steven Seagal. Yeah, just regular.
Standing there with his Japanese uniform on,
with his gut hanging out.
Tries to do the Aikido throw on him, but he didn't pay off Gamera, so he's not going to flop over.
Oh, that'd be amazing.
That is going to do it for the better known as. But we mentioned this
pretty much it
before we started recording, but we didn't mention it as we were recording. Tonight, we have been drinking Northway Brewing Company's Oat Bituary.
It's so good.
It is pretty damn tasty. I only had 4 cans, and I downed my 2.
It is oatmeal stout
within the first 40 minutes of this recording. I think.
It's oatmeal stout, which for a start, great. I love oatmeal stout, but it's also made with Death Wish coffee, which is an added plus.
I was gonna say it didn't have an overly coffee taste to it. It was pretty good.
Yeah,
I'll have to give that one a shot. That sounds really good.
I definitely was a fan. I got it at Price Jabber. Yeah.
Yep.
Nothing wrong with a good
shout
stout.
Out to Death Wish coffee, fucking local coffee beans.
Yeah.
And,
I'll probably wait till I get my taste back for that.
Yeah, definitely do that.
Well, if anything's going to shock them back to life, it's definitely the Death Wish coffee.
Yeah.
Let me close this out so we can actually see the camera again. Yeah. There we go. I've been hardcore resisting buying Elden Ring this weekend because I know I'm not going to like it.
He was playing it earlier, but I think he did say it's a little bit annoying because it's difficult. Because how difficult it is, I'm sure.
The only any of those Souls games I played was the PS5 version of Demon Souls. And I think I had it maybe a week before I was I have to get this game out of the fuck of my house, because it's going to drive me insane. I hated it that much. It was just so difficult for the sake of being difficult.
I played Dark Souls 1 for maybe an hour.
Yeah. And like I know I'm gonna fucking just drop a shitload of money on this game. I'm gonna be in the same place. Like I know it.
Yep. Man, there's
Yeah, I have the new. I haven't played any of the Demon Souls. I have them all on Steam, but I have that Dark Souls for PS5 as well. I just haven't started it.
Yeah, it was because I got it like in a PS5 bundle when it first came out. It was like when you couldn't get PS5s anywhere. I'm like, I don't care like what fucking games are in the bundle. I'm buying it.
Yeah.
And yeah, I did not enjoy that game at all.
No, I don't want to play a game that's just gonna make me angry.
Yeah, I'm playing games to like blow off steam to not be angry. Like I don't want to fucking get frustrated like while I'm playing a game.
Yeah, it's part of the process. I unfortunately, I'm a completionist, so I've played like ridiculously hard games and hardest difficulty. Like I've done Doom Eternal Nightmare and want to kill myself, but power through it.
The only thing that I do that with, and it's not even so much like a completionist thing. It's like I play the hardest difficulty on like ARPGs like Diablo and Grim Dawn, things like that. I'll crank the difficulty all the way to the highest that I can get it because I guess I'm pretty good at those games. Like I'm pretty good at figuring out like good character builds.
Yeah. Well, I played a Necromancer in Diablo 3, and like I didn't play it like a little while, but like I felt like all I have to do is just keep my finger on this button, and like I'm just gonna kill everything that's in my way.
Yeah.
Like I can just keep raising like fucking people to fight for me.
Yeah. Once you get into like the torment difficulties in that, it gets a lot harder.
All right. Yeah. Maybe I need
because there's like 30 difficulty levels in that fucking game for no reason.
Yeah, no, it if you play on hardcore, I played through Diablo 3 on hardcore. That was with my buddy. That took a lot of attempts.
Hardcore is where if you die, your character is fucking gone, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. I usually don't do that, but I'll get through them on the hardest difficulties that I can get.
Yeah, we had hardcore characters going for a while. Then one of the seasons we died, and we were just like, nope, never playing this game again.
Yeah, I don't do the seasons thing either. It's just I don't have enough time to dedicate to those to be as ambitious as they needed to be.
I've gotten out of it. Like I don't play MMOs anymore for the same reason.
I will still play an MMO every once in a while. I just don't go with the intent to like get all the way to the end game content. It's just the style of MMO RPG is something that appeals to me.
I've been mostly playing Horizon Forbidden West.
Oh, nice! I think it's my next game. If I can resist the call of Elden Ring, I keep seeing these awesome reviews. And like, I know I'm gonna hate it. Like, I no matter how good the reviews are, I'm gonna hate this game.
Yeah,
but I think I'm gonna play that next. I'm playing Ghost of Tsushima right now.
Oh, Ghost of Tsushima is an amazing game.
I'm taking my time and getting like everything in that game, going through every mission, like every little side thing.
I just hope that.
Did you beat it yet?
No, I'm just about to finish Act 2.
Alex beat it recently. It's the ending's really good.
I hope that comes to Steam soon.
Yeah.
Even eventually.
Yeah, I definitely recommend it. I know I'm late to the party on it, but I just got it that long ago. It's amazing.
Yeah, I haven't stayed up on consoles. So my most recent console is an Xbox One.
Oh wow.
So, yeah.
I've always been a PlayStation PC guy.
I just finally just got rid of like Xbox. Like the fucking what was the last one? Was it the one? Yeah. I just felt robbed by that fucking console. Like we got promised all this cool shit, and like we just never got any of it. Like the game started to suck.
Yeah,
like PlayStation had
their exclusives are never as good as the Sony ones.
And then but now I feel like the pendulum is going the other way now. Like Xbox is getting all these cool exclusives.
That's because Microsoft bought all these game studios.
Yeah.
See though, I don't really care about Activision, even if it goes through. Like I don't play if I play Call of Duty, I play it on the PC, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Because like Sony like hasn't announced what Naughty Dog's doing. They're making a new Last of Us multiplayer game, which sounds really cool. And they're working on a new IP, and apparently they might be doing a new Uncharted game, so I can't wait to see what they do. Guerrilla's working on a new game. I think Sony's got a lot queued up that's just not announced. I hear a lot of rumors that they're doing Silent Hill and Metal Gear.
Oh, that'd be cool. Aren't they, or didn't they just buy Bungie, or aren't they about to buy Bungie?
They did buy Bungie, but I don't know if you're a Metal Gear Solid fan, but like there's strong rumors that they are remaking the original Metal Gear Solid for
Metal
new
Gear
consoles.
Solid 1, 2, and 3. I'm all about that action. I haven't played anything past
What was
that.
like the one that that brought it back? Was it Metal Gear Solid 2 on PS? Was the first PlayStation?
That's Metal Gear Solid 4 for PS3, where you went back to Shadow
No.
Moses.
There was like I think it was might have been the first PlayStation.
Oh no. PS2. Metal Gear Solid 3. You went in the past and played as Naked Snake. Is that what you're talking about? Where you played?
No,
Snake Eater?
it was Metal Gear Solid 1 then, because like there was the Nintendo versions.
There
and,
was-
like, it went away for a while.
That was Metal Gear.
Yeah.
And
then
then
it
when
went
it-
away for a while, and
Then
they
when it
brought
came back
back
on PlayStation, it was
Well,
Metal Gear Solid.
Actually, the Metal Gear we had wasn't the real one. The real ones came out for the MX2. The one we got was a butchered port that wasn't oversaw by Kojima. Two came out on the Japanese home computer that were made by Kojima. The one we got was a different version.
Yeah, that was Snake's
But then
Revenge, which was a weird game that like nobody wants to take credit for.
Even the one, even the one before Snake's Revenge wasn't done by Kojima.
Oh, really? Yeah, the American release
because-
wasn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the original two, Metal Gear and Metal Gear Solid Snake, came out for the Japanese home computer, the MSX2, and then you can actually play them on the subsistence version of Snake Eater.
And they're
But,
still super fucking hard, like really
Yeah.
hard.
What was the
yeah.
one with the
And-
90-minute cutscene at the end? Was it Metal Gear Solid 3?
2.
2? That was the one where I officially checked out.
Where
I'm like,
where it seemed like everything was starting to glitch out on you.
yeah, and like, there's a 90-minute cutscene.
Oh,
There's
well,
multiple like tutorials on how to fry a fucking egg.
Yeah, that's 2.
4 does,
does
it
it
too.
really?
4's got a super long ending. And then 5 went back to the past, which I thought was Metal Gear Solid 5 was good. I mean, they're all
What
it's
was
a
that?
great
The
series.
Phantom something.
Phantom
Phantom
Pain.
The Phantom
yeah.
Pain.
That was 4, right?
That was 5.
5.
Okay,
4
so maybe I played up to
4 is
3 then. I think.
4 was Sons of.
4 is Guns
yeah,
of the
Guns of the
Patriots.
Patriots.
Guns of the
Yeah, I
Patriots.
definitely didn't play that one.
That was the first one for PlayStation 3.
Guns of the Patriots.
Yeah.
Yes.
Maybe I did play that
Yep,
one.
I have the special
Maybe I
edition
did
of
play that one because that was the one with the walkers that had like the weird like black fucking flexible feet. Yeah, okay, I
Yes.
did play that one. Yeah.
Yep. If you like that, 5 was really good. 5 pretty much was like, I don't know if you ever played like Portable Ops. They kind of made it work in the series, and it's a lot like that.
5.
Where you like recruit.
Yeah,
An
5
army?
was broken into 2 games technically, wasn't it? It was Phantom Pain and like a shorter game.
The shorter game actually might have been Phantom Pain, because it's like a
Oh,
prequel.
maybe.
Yeah.
I gotta remember now. Metal
Yeah.
Gear Solid.
Because I want to say
5.
there's a release that has both of them in it
Oh yeah,
as like one.
yeah,
one
yeah.
game.
Yeah, they do a defend. Yeah, Ground Zeroes was the small
Yeah,
game.
that's what it is.
And then Phantom Pain was the main one, yeah. It was a pretty good... So, Metal Gear Solid 5 makes it go full circle because Snake kills who he thinks is Big Boss in the first one, but then you fight him again in the second one for the Japanese home console. So, there's a big... Metal Gear Solid 5 brings it full circle and makes the story work, so it's interesting in that way.
I was saying now would probably be a really good time to mention that Thor has a gaming video channel on YouTube. Tell us about that.
Yeah. What is the thing that you do?
I do. I stream on Twitch at Thor Effect Gaming, and I also have a YouTube channel, Thor Effect Gaming, as well, and a website, temediagroup.net. So check me out there.
Awesome.
So while we're on the gaming tangent, like,
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry about that. I can talk about games forever and,
Perfect segue.
and movies.
Well, I mean,
Yeah, it
this is
worked
the
out
part of
great.
the show where we just talk about whatever.
we are, and officially into the crapshoot.
Yeah.
Works for me.
We had a good crapshoot going, and then I totally derailed it by throwing
by mentioning that this is the
I'm
crapshoot.
gonna keep it going since they're big. Godzilla versus Gamera. Who do you have and why?
Godzilla all the
Yeah,
way.
Godzilla.
Yeah.
Godzilla waffle stomps Gamera every time.
Yeah, no. Every era, I'm going with Godzilla, but for me, a lot of it's the atomic breath. Like Gamera can absorb fire, but I don't think he could absorb
Yeah, like
radiation.
that level. I mean, like fire is one thing, but like yeah, atomic fucking just fire. Like,
Well, even the
you know.
physical ass whooping that Godzilla put on Gamera. Like,
I mean, it just as evidence, you know, again, going back to our Destroy All Monsters
where they
episode,
curb stomp
yeah, like
Ghidorah.
like they just beat the piss out of Ghidorah at the end of that movie. Like,
It makes Ghidorah look like such a joke, but it's so
Yeah.
entertaining. Like honestly, that movie you can fast forward to the last like 10 minutes, and that's all you need to see.
I wish that they made him more menacing. Like if he put up more of a fight
yeah,
instead of just like that prison style
it's
ass
just like, oh
whooping.
shit, guys, Ghidorah's here. Here it is. Everybody's in trouble.
Yeah.
And then like it's like
He's more he's more menacing in like the future ones, especially like the 80s and 2000s.
Yeah.
But a lot of people knock the legendary King of the Monsters, but I actually thought it was a decent movie.
I love that movie, man. It's like
yeah,
it's,
people knock it. I think it's a good
it's
entry.
everything like that we would, you know, as a fan, that like I could say everything I wanted in a Godzilla movie. Like the fights are like incredible, like the effects are amazing. Like you get Godzilla, you know, Godzilla, Ghidorah, Mothra, like
Yeah.
Rodan. Like what the fuck else do you want? Like the battle at the end of that movie is incredible. Like I love that movie.
The Godzilla getting powered up by Mothra and like just getting
Yeah,
supercharged.
with the
It's just
assist coming
awesome.
through with the assist.
It just swallows Ghidorah's head. Like it's so awesome.
So good. Yeah, and that's from the guy that made Who's Next?
Is it really? Oh yeah, Gareth Edwards. Gareth.
Yeah, Adam Winger.
I was gonna say, like I love the scene at the end, man. Like he's the king of the monsters, and like all of these monsters are just coming to like bow down. Yeah.
Bow down to him.
That's because he's got a giant cock. You know, It's like,
We're gonna have to do that movie someday, like down the line. We've done a lot of kaiju lately. Like we definitely need to do that.
Well, like I said, you know, anytime you want me to talk about kaiju or anything else, let me know.
Hell yeah. Let's see. Anything?
I'll talk about anything.
we'll have to get him and Doug in the same room.
Man, I think at some point I am gonna watch the other two movies in this trilogy.
Yeah, I kind of was flirting with the idea of it.
I think at this point you kind of have to.
Yeah.
I was flirting with the idea of it while I was watching the first one, and now that we're talking about it and like what might be in the next two, I think that's. I'll probably watch one of them tomorrow.
Yeah,
Like,
I
got nothing going
say,
on.
Like Sunday is like perfect.
Sunday, nothing else going on.
It's
Yeah,
Sunday fun day.
you guys should start doing some commentary tracks.
We actually just did last week. We did one for a movie called Deathbed, the bed that eats,
Yeah.
and oh my god, it's bad.
Is it like Basket Case?
Worse.
Yeah, no, Basket Case is a step up. Yeah,
Oh wow. Okay.
It's hard to compare that movie to anything other than like
garbage.
garbage. Yeah,
Yeah.
well, like
Poop.
not even so much garbage, but like the water that accumulates at the bottom of the can,
Like when you pick up the bag and like there's all that shit dripping,
and
it's
it,
just, like,
it gets on your hand.
yeah, it's like somehow like brownish gray. Like yeah, that's
Like getting garbage water on
So-
your hand is the equivalent of this
watching
movie.
Deathbed.
Yeah.
Is it the worst movie you've ever seen? Or-
It's up there.
It's worse than Ghoulies.
Yeah, if you listen to our Ghoulies episode, we hated
Ooh.
Ghoulies because it's a terrible, terrible movie. And I
Oh,
would
yeah.
watch Ghoulies any day. Like if you gave me the choice of that or Deathbed, like Deathbed was bad.
Ghoulies or Deathbed? Well, is suicide an option?
Yeah.
Oh man, it sounds like we're getting the Room territory.
The Room is like enjoyable bad. Like Deathbed was just not even enjoyable.
Yeah.
Like, just, like,
Oh, that's no good. Then. I'm trying to think of what I've seen that's like that. Oh, how's Deathbed compared to the new Texas Chainsaw?
I will watch Texas Chainsaw again
That's
a
tough call.
1,000 times
That's
before
tough
I
call.
watch Deathbed again.
That is a tough call.
Not for me. You can actually
I don't think I've heard of that
follow the plot of Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
That is true. That's true.
That's fair.
Yeah, like I don't ever want to watch Texas Chainsaw Massacre again. It's some of it is just lifted straight out of Halloween.
The
last not Halloween Kills, the one before that.
They're just
The
2018 Halloween
yeah.
Kills. They cashed in on the success that had. They were like, okay, we can do that too.
Oh, of course they did. Well, Friday the 13th would too if it wasn't for the lawsuit.
There's a lot. Oh, really?
What?
Oh, well, this is going to be a good conversation.
There
You
we
already
go.
know this. This is why there's no new Friday the 13th movie. Victor Miller, the original screenwriter of
Yeah,
the
he just
original
got the
Friday
rights
the
back.
13th, he sued for it. That's the whole thing. Is it finally went through appeals process
Yeah.
and he won because Cunningham, who was a director, said that he was hired and not didn't have any rights to it, but he sued for his rights back because he got paid like I think $500 for the
Yeah.
script. And he created the characters of Jason Voorhees and his mom. So like they haven't been able to make Friday the 13th movies because they have only rights to anything after the first movie. So they had no rights to like Jason's mom. They couldn't name her or anything. So that's why they haven't made a
Yeah,
movie.
the last
What
one
was-
was like 2010.
The last one was the reboot with Jared Padalecki.
Yeah, which I didn't hate.
Which
I liked it.
Yeah,
I watched it.
actually it's a decent movie. People give it a
watched it,
bad
like,
rap,
last
but
month.
it's not bad.
I felt like it was very generic, but it wasn't bad. Like I enjoyed it.
What it does is consolidates 1, 2, and 3 into one movie.
Yeah.
yeah. The characters suck in it, but
Yeah.
you cheer for Jason
Well,
anyway.
yeah, I mean, you're not watching it for the good guys, quote unquote good guys. Like Jason Voorhees is the good guy in those movies.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I don't really think of any Friday the 13th movies where you really care about many of the characters, except for a couple, maybe like, 2, I said, they have a decent final girl that you're kind of like, you might get attached
Yeah.
to, but most of the time, no. But yeah, that's why there has been a new movie. It's a lawsuit because the Horror Inc. and the owner are kind of greedy, so. But that's resolved now. They're going to figure it out. So I think we'll get a Friday the 13th movie, hopefully before
That'd be nice.
2025.
I know they just ironed out the whole Predator lawsuit.
Yeah.
That was holding up like the new Predator movie. There's a bunch of Predator comics that Marvel was going to do.
I mean,
that got held up.
Oh, I didn't know about
Yeah.
that because like they made Predators only a couple years
No,
ago.
it was-
Not Predators. The Predator.
Yeah,
whatever
that
it's
was like
called.
2015. What's it, 17?
16. I
Yeah.
could be wrong. I don't remember. I've actually never saw it because it was written by Hawkins from the first one.
Yeah, Shane Black. Yeah.
Which
Yeah.
I haven't seen it in a while, but I remembered like kind of liking that one.
I don't remember.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, some people trash it, but I hear other people say it's
it's
fun.
definitely better
you know?
than the Alien vs Predator movie.
The last one I saw was
Oh, those movies are
I think
terrible.
the last one I saw was Predators.
the one with Adrian Brody.
Yeah.
I liked that one too.
It was all right.
Yeah. But the new one's coming out, Prey. I think it's this year, maybe in a couple months, because now that the lawsuit's like over with, it's
Yeah.
been made. It's just been like sitting on the shelf.
Oh, it's just been in like
Just-
release hell.
Yeah, release hell basically because of the lawsuit. Oh,
Yep, that happens all
Yeah.
the time.
Unfortunately, it's that's the business side
yeah.
of the business.
yeah.
It's brutal. Yeah. What do you think about these reboots that just follow the beginning though? Like Godzilla kind of did it. Friday the 13th did it.
Some of them do it well,
Um,
some of them don't.
This Gamera kind of did it.
Yeah, this is a reboot.
Yeah.
And this is an effective reboot, I would say.
Yeah, as long as it's done well, I don't mind reboots. There's always going to be a reason
Oh,
to
yeah.
freshen up the material. Like things will go stale and not work anymore, and like you just want to do something different. So like,
Yeah.
if there's a reason to do it and
Um,
it's pulled off well, if it's different enough, yeah, reboot the
Like-
fuck away. But like,
Like we've gone over it a few times, but the latest Candyman movie,
yeah,
fucking perfection in
Yeah.
the way that they handled that.
great reboot. Like,
I didn't see that one yet, but I saw Scream 5, which I think
I
did it
haven't
well,
seen
too.
that.
it was pretty decent, like slasher film. I enjoyed it.
I see. I never really fell in love with the Scream movies.
I love the first one.
See, though, I love the meta look. I love the meta-ness of Scream, and it's more of a commentary. You gotta think of it as like a dark
Yeah, but I
comedy.
got to like the second and third ones, and I was just kind of over it. I think.
There's definitely
Well, the third one's
Yeah.
terrible. The third one had a different writer. They couldn't come to terms, and the third
Yeah.
one's a mess.
but yeah, the first one I love the first. The second one's good too. I think it's not as good as the first one, but still
Yeah.
a really good movie.
fourth one's decent, but in that same vein, you guys ever see Behind the Mask, The Rise of Leslie Vernon?
No.
Came out in 2006. It's a mockumentary. It's very meta, like Scream. It's about this serial killer wants to become the next Jason Voorhees, Michael Myers, and he hires a college team, these college kids, hey, make a documentary about my rise. And,
we
my
talked about
background.
this with somebody,
and they fought.
Did we really?
We did.
It's a great movie. Yeah, they follow him around, and then halfway through the movie, they're like, "We can't let him kill these kids," and then it becomes a horror movie.
We might have talked about this with Doug.
I don't remember.
I don't remember either. I've drank a lot of beer since then.
Yeah, we drink a lot during these.
Yeah, not like many people know about this movie, but people see it and they usually love it. I highly recommend it.
Yes, it's like that guy wanted to be like a notarized movie serial killer, and he wanted to actually kill people on film, right? Like that was kind of the gist.
Was it Ken? Maybe.
I don't remember.
Well, in this world, Michael Myers, Jason, they exist.
Oh, okay.
And he wants to become the next supernatural. Kane Hodder makes a cameo. Robert Englund's the Dr. Loomis of him, his child psychiatrist. So it's very meta. I highly recommend it.
So now
but,
I don't want to ruin definitely anything, on my to watch list.
Yeah.
Do you?
It came out in 2006. They've been trying to get a sequel off the ground forever.
Never even heard of it.
They made a comic book series, so yeah. Not a lot of people do. It's on Shudder.
Okay,
excellent. Oh, sweet. I have Shudder.
Yeah.
So if you have Shudder,
good thing I have AMC Plus because that comes with Shudder.
That is how I have Shudder also.
Yeah. It's not as good because I don't think with AMC Plus you can watch the live streaming Joe Bob stuff.
Yeah, you can't watch the Joe Bob stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got Shudder for some of the content, but most of the Joe Bob stuff I've been working through it with Jess, so we have a lot of fun watching it.
His those holiday specials are the fucking best.
Yeah, we watched the Valentine's Day one. We only watched the first movie. I forget what that one's called. That was a weird one.
Oh, you know what? I didn't get around to that one yet.
Yeah.
I forget what movie I forget what it's called, but it was a decent one.
Oh man.
But yeah, there's where do you think the Monsterverse is gonna go if it continues?
It sounds like it is continuing, at least with the TV show. It sounds like they Legendary managed to wrangle a little bit more of the right, a couple more years of the rights.
They're probably going to do something similar to Destroy All Monsters.
I think they should definitely do that, but I think if they go on two different tangents, where I think they want Kong to kind of be in the Underearth, and Godzilla to just do his thing. So I think Kong gets a TV show, and they could run with that as long as they want. Whereas I think Godzilla will do a couple more movies, like you said, a Destroy All Monsters. Yeah, because
they only have they have the Kong rights locked down, but the Godzilla rights, they're on loan from Toho.
I think you're onto something really good there. If they do a Kong show where it's just him in the the Hollow Earth kind of thing, that could be really entertaining. Because it sounds like there would be less human interaction there.
I want to say they're working on Son of Kong. I think I heard.
Okay.
Yeah,
I did hear that. Which hopefully would be better than the actual Son of Kong. Because Son of Kong is terrible.
It was a rushed cash-in sequel.
That reminds me, there's an old Futurama joke, and they were talking about monsters, and the typical Jersey scumbag construction worker guy that's on the show. He's like, "How is it? There's only monsters aren't real except for Dracula, Blackula, and Son of Kong."
That construction worker is a clone. That's why he's in every episode.
Is he really? Did I miss that?
Awesome.
It's a subtle thing that they said after the show. And what do you guys think about Futurama coming back?
No.
Especially since they recast Bender.
How? Did they recast him yet? Because I know
They had to because he would not agree. He wanted more money,
Yeah.
and I don't.
It sounds
blame
like.
him
I mean, last
because
I
they-
heard, it sounds like they were still trying to hash it out, but who knows?
Yeah, I don't know if they. I hadn't.
I heard they haven't named a name, but I heard that like it broke down
yeah.
completely.
Man,
No, they broke my heart one time already coming back from the dead.
like that's a show. I mean, I like the show, but I wouldn't say I'm a huge fan of it. But I like knowing that it's around. Like, yeah,
That
I love it, and
I was always much more of a Simpsons fan.
I think it had a good ending, and like
yeah, the time loop thing is like perfect.
Yeah, for the show, and like they finally had an ending, so they should have left it. But what are you gonna do?
Like that first run that they had was almost perfect, and then they brought it back, and it started off pretty solid, and then kind of went to shit pretty quickly. For me, anyway. I guess everybody likes what they like, but when Comedy Central started making it, it just wasn't the same. I don't know. I don't know why. It just didn't have the same feel.
They switch up. What do you guys think of Rick and Morty then?
I love Rick and Morty.
I am on the record. Not a fan.
I like Rick and Morty, but I just figured similar veins.
I'm such a huge Rick and Morty fan. It's like it is definitely one of those shows that gets a bad rap because of the toxic fan base.
Yeah,
like it is. There are jokes in that show that are so incredibly smart that it just blows my mind. Something like I told you about the one episode with the story train. Like that show is like that episode is just so meta and like just perfect.
Well, that's how they make the show, which is funny. I'm also another show that's similar though that I'm a big fan is I was a huge BoJack.
That was a good show. Yeah.
I always loved the Venture Brothers.
I've never watched it. Like I feel like that's one of those shows I would love if I just sat down and watched it.
Did you like Johnny Quest?
I loved it.
Not so much.
No.
They even cross over where they kill Ray Spannon.
Yep.
That's amazing.
Man, so it was basically Johnny Quest on drugs.
It was in the same universe officially.
Yep.
And then they killed Ray Spannon. But did that end yet? I know they were making movies.
I think they're bringing it back, aren't they?
I think with a movie.
I think the show is done, and then they're going to do a movie, and then that was the last I heard.
Yeah, I know there's a big campaign to save it at Cartoon Network, but I think it's going to be on HBO Max or something like that. The movie, or
Hulu maybe.
Continuing with go ahead.
All the Adult Swim shows are on. Well, yeah,
they're on HBO Max too.
They're on HBO Max and Hulu.
Yeah,
I think so.
Yeah.
But we have to one of these days we're gonna have to sit down and watch the episode that absolutely sold me on Rick and Morty was Total Recall. It is fucking brilliant. It's like it's basically The Thing.
Yeah.
Like it's
that's a good one. And another one to show the acid vat.
Yes. Oh my god. Say the acid vat is good. Kiss the acid vat. Like it's
the ending. The first time I saw it, I was like, "Oh, are you kidding me?" It's so good.
Like the core of the episode, like is around. It's like kind of centers around this one segment where. Well, the whole like theme of the episode is like Morty like is always like he basically like busts Rick's balls about like a scheme that he comes up with. So like
Morty is the grandson, right?
Yeah.
The kid.
So like he's like, all right, you can prove it to me, that you're actually a good inventor. Build me this contraption that's basically like a video game. Makes life like a video game where like you can save at a point, and if you die, you can go back to that save point.
Okay.
So, I forget where I was going with this. Oh, the segment. There's this like it's completely dialogue free. It's probably like 5 minutes, maybe even longer, of Morty like using this machine to like do fucked up things and like just do whatever he wants. And then he meets a girl. He falls in love with the girl. Like he stops using the machine. They get really close. Then they go on a plane trip and the plane crashes like Alive style where they're like stuck in the mountains. They're about to die. And like they're
eating
eating
each
people,
other.
and then like they survive all that. They get back to like they get rescued somehow. Like they get back to real life, and then at the end, fucking Morty's like fuck up dad just like finds the video game button. It's just like, oh, what's this? And like pushes it, and, like erases all of that. He's just like, no. Yeah,
But he remembers
all of it.
That's fucked up.
Yeah.
And then he meets the girl again that he had this whole story with, but then he actually overwrites his save and just keeps reliving her pepper spraying him because she's like, what the fuck are you? Yeah. And he's just like destroyed by this, but this isn't even the best part of the episode.
Yikes.
That show has the darkest fucking thing I've ever seen in a cartoon. There was this one episode where they, like, I know I'm giving away so much shit, but I don't care. It's so good. There's like this one episode where Rick and Morty completely just fuck up their reality. They create these monsters they call Cronenbergs.
Yeah.
The David Cronenberg monsters. And like, so they basically like, they have to come up with a plan where they jump to a new reality where that reality's Rick and Morty just died.
Yeah.
So they can like dispose of their bodies and take over for them. And then like a couple of like at the end of the episode, like they the plan goes through. Like you just see like, there's a Rick and Morty and they're in a garage and they're talking and like they're working on something, and it just blows the fuck up. And then you just see like guts everywhere. Like so like they show up, like they clean up, they bury the bodies in the backyard.
Yeah.
And like the end of the episode is Morty sitting there like just staring at this family that's his family, but not his family because they're from a different reality. Like, they have no idea their son is dead. And he's just, like, staring, like, and there's, like, a song playing or something. Like, it's just, like, completely, like, fucked up. But then, like, 4 or 5, maybe even 6 episodes later, Morty's talking to his sister. And, as he's talking to her, I forget what, like, they're fighting about. She's mad about something, but you can see the graves in the backyard, like, the lumps of dirt where they bury the...
And what happened was the world got taken over by the Federation. I know it's...
But, like, he's giving her, like, a speech. Like, he tells her, like, I'm not your brother. Like, I'm better than your brother. Like, I'm somebody who wants to be here. Like, your brother is dead. He's like, every morning, I eat breakfast 20 feet away from my own rotting corpse. Like, it's fucking, like, holy shit.
I don't know. Maybe one of these days I'll give it a shot.
And then they have to dig him up. Just watch it.
One of these days I'll have to give it a legitimate shot. But like the fan base is just so fucking repugnant.
Yeah.
That
it sucks.
I don't want to be involved with them.
But it sucks with everything. It really does. A lot of it does.
Yeah, like
Marvel, like people poke holes in everything, and then like there's nothing fun anymore. Like the new Spider-Man was coming out, and everyone's like, "Oh, look at the bottom. There's definitely another person kicking Lizard Man." It's like, "Oh,
that got spoiled." Yeah, before the movie came out.
There goes the coolest part of the movie.
I try not to pay attention to speculation and things like that about anything new that's coming out.
It's tough though. Like you guys have a show, like I do it too. Like you look up stuff, and then like you're on YouTube, and it's just
things do happen, and you wind up spoiling shit for yourself eventually. But
no, what really sucks too though is like you go on YouTube and someone will make a title to like spoil it on purpose, not something you're looking for, just something to like ruin it for you. Like when something comes out, people put scenes of the movies up, and it's impossible to like miss any spoilers.
Yeah, there's a whole culture based on spoiling shit for other people. Yeah, and I don't understand.
It sucks.
Yeah,
like
it sucks.
Yeah, like we talk about shit on this show, and I try to be as like spoiler free as possible. Like if I know I'm going to talk about something,
something, we'll say spoilers and give somebody a couple seconds.
And not only that, you're talking about something that's out. It's been out for a couple years.
But if we reference something in this segment of the show, like, hey, spoiler alert, we're talking about blah, and then we'll talk about it. It's like that'll give somebody a chance to skip like a minute ahead or whatever. But there's people out there that just love to spoil shit for other people. Like when the newest iteration of Star Wars came out, I was on Facebook and somebody posted a picture
It doesn't matter because the newest iteration doesn't exist.
But like, I was really excited for the movies.
I will say the TV shows exist. The sequel trilogy.
So was I.
Yeah,
It
they never.
came out.
It was weird. So weird that they talked about them, never came out. Like the
They
third,
just never
fourth,
happened.
and fifth seasons of Heroes. Like they were just like, we're gonna make these, but never made them.
Fourth Indiana Jones movie that people say.
Yeah.
I don't think it exists.
But like,
No, there's nothing about a nuclear missile in a
Yeah.
refrigerator.
that does not exist.
but like, I was on Facebook before those movies came out, and we're like, and somebody was posting pictures, like still frames from the movie where Han gets, spoiler alert, killed. And it was like, why are you doing this? Like, you're just ruining somebody else's enjoyment.
I just banned somebody on Facebook within the past month. This is how tolerant I have been of this motherfucker spoiling shit for me.
Mm-hmm.
The first I worked at, the first thing he spoiled for me was Attack of the Clones.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, we worked at a movie theater at the time when it came out. This son of a bitch just walked up to me with a fucking printed out picture he got on the internet, like printed out on his printer, and holds up the picture of Count Dooku cutting off Anakin's arm. And I'm like, what the fuck are you doing to me, man? Like,
I believe you get your ass kicked for something like that.
Yeah. So like, this is how I've been dealing with this for the longest time. And then like, he spoiled something for me. I want to say it wasn't Luke Skywalker on Mandalorian. It was something else. But then when Boba Fett was out, he literally just posted like, "Oh my God, Luke Skywalker, Ahsoka, Grogu, like everybody's in this episode." Like,
like,
give people a chance to see
it's
it.
like 8 a.m.
I just never understood the need to spoil shit. Like, you could be like, even if you're like, man, this is so fucking exciting. I can't wait to talk to people about this.
Yeah.
You can say that. Like, this is really exciting.
I'm excited to talk about Star Wars. We'll talk in the comments.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
That's fine.
Right. It's just like my buddy Joe's playing through Horizon 2, and we're like both excited about the story, but we're at different parts. So we're just like, dude, I can't wait till we're done so we can get together,
Yeah.
have breakfast,
Yeah.
have a conversation.
Like, what part of the story are you on? Okay, I'm not there yet, but I'll let you know when I get there, and then we can talk about it.
Yeah. We try to like, circumvent it, like, oh, well, without spoilers, like, I've got this far, or like, according to the sheet, this percentage done,
Like, that's rational. Like, the reasonable people act that way. So fucking weird.
Because like things like that, like, of course it got leaked, but if none of us knew that the other Spider-Man were in a new Spider-Man movie, how
blown
awesome
your
was that?
fucking mind. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
But no one got that.
Yeah. No, nobody gets
No one.
surprised by anything anymore.
We all knew beforehand they were in the movie, and I might have thought better. I still don't think it's better than Spider-Man 2, but
Ooh, oh man.
that's me.
I just watched Spider-Man 2 today.
Like the Sony Spider-Man movie?
Yeah.
So yeah, my favorite Spider-Man movie is Sony Spider-Man 2. I think it's one of the best superhero movies
I
ever.
can agree with that. I think I'm going to see No Way Home tomorrow again, because I haven't seen it since it first came out.
I'm just going to put this out there. One of my favorite superhero movies is Punisher Warzone.
I actually, a lot of people hate it. I like the Punisher movie before it.
With Tom
I
Thomas
fucking
Jane.
hated that movie. Yeah.
I love the violence.
I know it's
I
a
love the
bad
violence
movie.
of that movie. The video game based on that movie is
Awesome.
fucking absurd.
Incredible. Yeah.
'Cause
Absurd. You can do like specialized like environmental kills. Like
Yeah.
if you're fighting a guy in a kitchen, you can turn the oven on and like hold his face over the flame. Like,
Yeah. You bust out of the fucking casket at the funeral with the
Yes.
fucking machine gun.
No, the game was good, and I don't know. I was a kid.
Yeah, I mean,
I was young, so like I
Right.
enjoyed it.
and I'll defend it until the day I die, but Punisher Warzone is so fun because it is such a piss take on comic book movies. Like, it is ridiculous.
It's the
and they,
Batman 66
and they
Punisher
know
movies.
it's ridiculous,
Yeah,
and they
yeah.
lean into it so
Well,
hard.
yeah, no, and like comic book movies were like really in a weird transition period because like the 90s, like we had I think Captain America, Spawn.
Yeah. In the 90s, yeah.
Blade.
Blade was actually a good one.
Blade.
No, Blade was good, but like
I think my favorite thing about Blade being a comic book movie.
Well, not Blade 3. Blade 3 was terrible.
My favorite thing about Blade being a comic book movie is that nobody knows it's a comic book movie.
Yeah.
That's true. How well it stood on its own, though.
Yeah. That was a good movie.
Yeah, no, but you got to really think like the original Spider-Man trilogy really changed comic book movies.
Yeah,
forever,
when they realized, like, oh, if we actually make these good, like, we'll make a lot of money on them. Yeah.
Well, yeah, but I mean, you also had that was coming off the back of like some shady Batman movies.
Yeah, it's when you have the Schumacher Batman, but it's also like when you get the first 2 X-Men movies too, which were like the best of those movies, I'd say.
Oh yeah,
I think those
second one's fantastic.
I think those came out after, didn't they?
Second one
after the first Spider-Man.
No, X-Men was 99, I think.
X-Men 2, I think, was 2001, 2002.
Yeah, so that would have been right around the same time as Spider-Man.
So X-Men 2, though, interesting thing about X-Men 2 is partially written by David Hayter, the voice of Solid Snake.
Really? Did not know
co-writer.
that. That's pretty crazy.
I have weird trivia.
We do that on this show.
Oh, yeah, I'm definitely going to see No Way Home again tomorrow.
I'm not.
It's so good.
It's a good movie. I'm putting Spider-Man 2 above it.
The very last scene of No Way Home was like it was like a love letter to like Spider-Man for me. Like,
was it?
Because he's finally in the comic book Spider-Man costume at the end of that movie, and it's just like,
What I'm excited about though is Sam Raimi doing the new Doctor Strange movie.
I can't wait for that. I mean, there's rumors that Toby's going to be in it too, so I'm
really
keeping my fingers crossed. Yeah.
Oh, that'd be cool. He's my favorite. Toby, I think, is still my favorite Spider-Man.
I like Tom Holland, man. Toby was a good Peter Parker. Andrew Garfield was a good Spider-Man.
Tobey Maguire is a bad Spider-Man.
He's a bad Spider-Man. And then you have Andrew Garfield, who's the opposite. He's a bad Peter Parker, good Spider-Man. But I think Tom Holland is like the best like mix of all of those. Like, Tobey might be a better Peter Parker, but he's a better Spider-Man than Tobey is. And Andrew Garfield might be a better Spider-Man, but I don't even think he is a better Spider-Man because like. I don't know. I think Tom Holland is like the best of those guys at that. Like he fucking nailed it.
Yeah.
I think so too. But he kind of, I don't know. My whole thing is like with Tom Holland is like I think they like used Iron Man as too much of a crutch.
I could definitely understand that. Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I don't know. I don't think he really came into his own till maybe.
Well, yeah, I think that's what this movie was, like setting him off of that path. Like the Spider-Man at the end of this movie is like the Spider-Man I can say I grew up with, like in the 90s. Like, well, not in the 90s because he's not married.
But that's my knock is it takes 2.5, 3 movies to get there.
Well, but I mean, like they're fucking good movies. Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying though is so like I think. In No Way Home, there's too much going on.
Yeah, they did cram a whole lot into that movie. That's I could see that.
Where like Spider-Man 2, the way I like it better is that like where he loses his powers and has that whole arc. I just think it's done better.
The last Spider-Man movie I saw was Into the Spider-Verse,
which that's a good one to go out on.
It's a good one.
Yeah, I cannot wait for the next the 2 of those to come out.
Oh, they're doing a trilogy of those?
Well, they're the next movie is being split up into 2 parts.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I don't know how true it is, but I've heard part of Sony's deal is they have to pump out so many movies to keep the rights.
That probably tracks.
Yeah.
So it's like, let's make some animated, which I heard, and I hope they do this. Sam Raimi originally wanted to do 6 movies. Since Maguire's too old, I heard they might do the next 3 as animated. Really?
That could work.
That's a rumor I heard.
People keep pushing for Amazing Spider-Man 3, which I really don't need. I don't. No offense to Andrew. I don't need that movie.
Yeah.
I only watched the first one, and then I never watched the second one, which I'm hearing is
I saw it when it first came out in the movies, and I was like furious when I came out of that movie. I was just because like I remember thinking at the time like even if like not knowing like they were going to reboot it like right afterwards, like I remember thinking to myself like even if they do reboot it, like realistically we're not getting another good Spider-Man movie for like 5 or 6 years. And like it did end up being shorter than that. And like Homecoming is a much better movie by every metric.
I really wish we got the 6 from Raimi and then went to the Tom Holland verse.
I watched Amazing Spider-Man 2 for the second time after I watched No Way Home because like it got me to it got me to go back. I'm like, nope, this is still fucking garbage. Like, yeah.
But I did like Andrew. I did like Andrew Garfield.
Andrew Garfield's more kind of like an Ultimate Spider-Man, isn't he?
Well, he amazing.
But like compared to the comic like version,
yeah,
kind of.
Like that story is a little more Ultimate.
I will say though, so I never watched the second one, but I know about the scene with Gwen Stacy. I really like how they had him get his redemption. I thought that was cool.
I will admit, I fucking rolled a tear, man. They definitely like redeemed his Spider-Man.
Just give me a Scarlet Spider and call it done.
That'd be awesome.
I'd love them. They borrowed a lot from the games. The game's got such a good story. The Insomniac game.
Yeah.
They borrowed a little bit from that.
There's another scene I definitely. Well, I won't say that because it'll spoil a major.
Don't spoil
it.
Yeah. We just had a whole segment about that.
One of the few things that hasn't actually been spoiled yet, like on the internet, surprisingly.
I don't know.
Yeah, the internet can be brutal. It can be awesome, but brutal at the same time.
The internet, just fickle bitch.
Anyway, remember we were talking about Gamera at one point?
At some point. Hey, we're in crapshoot territory. We can talk about whatever we want.
Yeah, I'll go off on tangents. I'm sorry, but
this show lives in the tangents.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fair enough. The couple I listened to, I definitely noticed that, it's good though. It makes a conversation.
Stay kind of on topic.
We definitely have 4 segments and like we're trying to hew. Yeah,
I know. We were starting to go by scene earlier, and I went off a bit. But the problem is with like monster movies is that like the monsters fighting's interesting and cool, and sometimes the stuff with the people can be interesting, but a lot of times
most of the time when the monster's not around, nobody cares.
No, it's rough territory because you could have really good non-monster stuff in a monster movie, but because there's not giant creatures kicking the shit out of each other, nobody's really gonna care.
It's not as good. Yeah.
Like it could be like Oscar-worthy performances, but if I don't see,
it's not 2 monsters fighting each other.
Well, it's like they really tried to make you care with her connection to Gamera, but it's just like just get to the fight. And that's my main problem with this movie is that like the fight between Gamera and Super Goose wasn't enough. Like,
I don't think.
Yeah,
not much happened. So.
Yeah, I mean, really, like they didn't really like. There wasn't much physical fighting between them. Like,
it was enough to keep it rolling, but not enough to keep me like glued to the TV.
Yeah.
Like every Godzilla movie, they'll do like a dumb scene, like the Godzilla dropkick where he like flies on his tail.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking
about. So bad.
It's so bad, but so good they replay it.
It's one of the greatest hits. Like it's just it needs to be there.
Yeah, but they knew it at the time. Like there's a replay of it in the movie. You have to rewind it. It's just in the movie. And Gamera doesn't have that.
Not really. No.
We do have the freeze frame though.
The freeze frame.
Oh my god. Freeze frame was something else.
I don't know why that was in there. All right, I think this is a good place to call it a show.
Yeah, we're about to hit 2.5 hours almost. So
Yeah.
it might be a good spot.
yeah.
No, it's
Sorry,
fine. We'll have a little bit to cut out, but not a whole lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna roll off our social media shit. So you can find our website, www.bigdumbmonsterspodcast.com. If you want to email us anything, show suggestions like movies that you think we should watch or beer you think we should drink, do that at bigdumbmonsters@gmail.com. If you are part of the Twitter machine, go ahead and hit us at dumb_monsters. You can find our Facebook, Big Dumb Monsters Pod. And if you are on Slasher, the all horror social media, we are Big Dumb Monsters.
We have to readjust our sign.
Podcast. Yeah, the sign fell down. Big Dumb Monsters Podcast on Slasher. If you want to watch this or listen to this on YouTube,
we are at the Big Dumb Monsters channel.
and if you are on the Instagrams,
we are big_dumb_monsters.
That's right.
And tell everybody where they can get your stuff there, Thor. One more time.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you. YouTube's my main platform, so Thor Effect Gaming. You'll find me YouTube/Thor Effect Gaming. Also on Twitch, I stream games live. You can come hang out. It's a good time.
Are you on a schedule?
We have a great
there?
time. Usually I stream Monday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday is usually been a schedule. Been a little bit different right now because I had COVID.
That'll do it, yeah.
But getting back into it. So yeah, you can catch me there and it's live. It's a good time. I'm always playing something different. Saturdays I do retro night. So that's a fun time. I call it retrograde. I play horrible old games and grade them at the end. It's a good time. So yeah, so that's Twitch TV/Thor Effect Gaming. And then my website is tmediagroup.net. So you can catch me there, and I link to all my videos, and I'm also on Twitter, just TA Media, and I update everything there. So please come check it out. Come hang out. You're always welcome. You guys are always welcome.
Awesome. Thank you. Yeah.
I think we're going to call it a show.
That'll do it for us. We have definitely talked quite a long time tonight.
Yeah. It was a good time.
But we appreciate all of you who came by.
Yeah. I appreciate it as well. And thanks for having me.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. End the show now.
End the show.
All right. Later, guys.
Bye-bye.